far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Lady in Black Darlington Raceway, the granddaddy of them all. And boy, do we have a barn burner for you this evening, as there are plenty of playoff spots yet to be decided, and only one driver currently locked in here at the Icon Cup Series, and it's the Southern 300, which means we've got 2 hours or so to determine who is going to make it into the next round of the playoffs, which kick off at Kansas next week. From high above Darlington Raceway in the Tony Trapazzo Memorial broadcast booth, currently drying out after being fished out of Stark's Pond, it is yours truly, the dog father, Shane Lake. Called me in from the bullpen for this one. And joining me in the broadcast booth, pushing the ones and twos and giving you everybody all the amazing views and these amazing graphics, in which we've got a few updates for you all this evening. It's the Shane and Shane Show. My partner in crime tonight, Shane Cochran. And brother, it's an elimination race at Darlington. Oh boy.
Yeah, this is what it's all about. Round one of the playoffs. Everyone's hopes are high. It all comes down to this, though. After Watkins Glen and Daytona, we're here at Darlington, one of the oldest tracks on the schedule. That notorious egg-shaped oval. The race is like nothing else on the schedule. Just going to be a great race here. So we take a look at our race info for tonight. This is race number 27 on the season, the Southern 300, and as we mentioned, it's race 3 of the first round of the playoffs. We're going to do 220 laps with stages at 70 and 140. Fuel 60% per the usual. That's going to set our fuel window somewhere between 41 and 44 laps, so you're going to be pitting in those stages for sure. Only 5 additional sets of tires. This is a long one here tonight. You're going to have to save tires for that final run if you want a chance to win this thing and stamp your ticket into round 2 of the playoffs. And right now, temperature around 79 degrees in the air, 86 on the track. Nothing too hot, nothing too cold. Gonna be a fun one. We're gonna be trying to keep up with the playoff points with you tonight. It's gonna be a little tough because there are a lot of bonus points that can be given out in the Icon Cup Series, as well as the stage points factoring in, and then penalties after the fact. So we are gonna try to keep it simple and just tell you who is locked in and who's feeling pretty good and who's gonna need some help. So all night long, you're gonna be seeing a rainbow of colors here on our leaderboard. Dark green, there's only one person completely locked in. That's a 78 of Brian Smith. And then there's 3 cars that we're going to say are relatively safe. It's going to be Nathan Finnegan, Jacob Smith, and Ryan Patty, all more than 50 points to the good coming into the race. Then the yellow drivers, that's going to be Cody Neal, John McNeil, Chuck Van Schaik, Kyle Purcell, Patrick Colby, Jonathan Duncan, Bentley Glazer. They're all at least 10 points to the good coming in, so they can't afford to have any mistakes, but otherwise they're just 2 points ahead of the cut line is Michael Taylor. Then below the cut line, Adam Ball, Braxton DeWeese, they are right there. They could battle their way in with some decent stage points and a good finish. But then Kyle Diaz and Zach Lockett, a lot of points out. They did not attend all of the races here in this first round, I believe. That's what's got them so far behind. And they are going to be pushing probably for a win as their only way to get those points up where they need them. So we are getting ready to start this thing. Looks like it's Finnegan Myers on the pole. That part-time number 12 car.
Yeah, looks like it's Finnegan and Patrick Colby sharing the front row.
So
Jacob Smith and Ryan Patty, row 2. Brian Smith, the only one locked in, and Charles Van Schaik sitting in row 3. Mike Taylor and Braxton DeWeese, row 4. Row 5 is going to be Jonathan Duncan and Jeff Dillon. Bentley Glazer, man, there's a good car for you. Bentley and Zach Lockett sitting in row 6. Sean Purcell, Cody Neal, row 7. Row 8 is going to be Adam Ball and Mike Granella. Cody Eldred. Again, the tower keeps updating me here. I'm looking at a bowl of Skittles is what I feel like here. I feel like Jim Ross.
Yeah, follow along with the grid at the bottom. I think that one's locked in.
Yeah, Sean Purcell, Cody Neal, row 7. Row 8 is going to be Adam Ball, Cody Eldred. Row 9 is going to be Mike Greenwell and the Drift, Jacob Goldrich. Row 10, Jake Champion and Charlie Widener. We actually going to get enough time to do this? I don't think so. The pace car is coming off.
We're going to be cutting it close.
and Zachary King, row 11, with Hollingsworth and McNeil in row 12. I don't think we're going to get through this in time. We'll update you as we go. Kyle Gilbert and Ethan Van Collie. But as we get ready to do this thing, Barney's got the green flag in the air. The Lady in Black's going to determine who makes it into the playoffs. We are green.
Oh, already heavy contact. That's Patrick Colby in the wall.
Yeah, that car got sucked up in, and I think we're going to already have a caution. I see a couple of cars scattering back here. Do they keep it green? I think so.
I think some of them would have preferred to catch a caution there. And they are really awkward coming into turns 3 and 4. Gonna keep it together, though.
You aren't seeing things. There are a few throwback paint jobs in this field tonight. We might be able to get a few of those as time goes on. I saw a couple of Mark Martin schemes and an 84 Dale Earnhardt throwback right there with a 15 car.
Yeah, a lot of nice throwbacks here tonight, but it's that 12 car out front being chased down by Jacob Smith and Ryan Patty. And let's go back and check in with Patrick Colby and see if we can see what happened back on that first lap.
Well, looks like he's got 4th place up right underneath his back bumper, and
oh, it was actually contact. The 4. Those two both kind of went to the middle lane and then contact with the 52 further on back. We saw how that got the whole field spread out, but they're going to keep moving, but that's not the way you want your race to start from the front row if you're the 28.
Oh, not at all. Jacob Smith and the Batman throwback to Dale Jarrett in 1998. Decided to get a little ambitious there.
Glazer looking inside of Duncan. And again, just a reminder, our leaderboard on the left going to have a lot more color than you're used to. Green are drivers that came in with a sizable lead. They just need to have a decent race and not have any mistakes. The purple driver, Brian Smith, he's the only one locked in, had 2 wins already this round. And then all those yellow and orange drivers, they're people who came in locked. They're above the cut line, but they can't have any mistakes at all and are going to need to get some stage points at least to stay in contention. Then those red drivers, they are not looking good. They either need to get a bunch of stage points and a great finish or win this thing, especially those bottom 2 drivers. And that was Kyle Diaz and Zach Lockett. They almost need to win to keep their hopes alive. But Braxton DeWeese, so far the best driver of those below the cut line, running in 4th. And he is chasing down the 30 of Ryan Patty.
Yeah, 30 looking good. Those old STP colors are running hot here tonight. I'm sorry, but I'm looking at this tower, and I feel like we need to have a Skittles sponsorship. If we did, I'd be pulling my best Jim Ross right now.
Oh, I'm tasting the rainbow, that's for sure.
Fruity Skittles!
And that battle for the lead starting to heat up as the 4 inching closer to the bumper of the 12. That's Jacob Smith and Finnegan Myers.
Well, here comes Smith to the inside. I don't think Finnegan's going to have anything for him. He's going to launch it on the top side and actually hold him off right now. That 12 reminds me of Casey Kane's 2006 hot rod, or 2007, I should say.
I actually saw him post about his paint scheme earlier tonight in the Discord. It is a specific throwback. Let me see if I can track that down.
Meanwhile, looks like Patty's getting underneath some pressure here. DeWeese, I think, is going to make the move and make it stick, put Patty back to 4th. As we stick with this battle up front between Myers and Smith, I feel like a kid seeing so many of these cars because I had these in die-cast form.
Patrick Colby, we saw him get into that issue on the first lap. He is all the way back in 10th position now.
And I'm surprised that car isn't worse off than what it was because he hit the wall hard with that right rear. Am I seeing things, or is that an Alabama paint job?
Oh, yeah, he runs that one just about every week. Not the week of football they were hoping for, but...
Not at all, but I can't say much. I took a bath in my picks earlier this week anyway, so I can't say much.
Yeah, the first week of college football. I'm not sure there's any other week of the year where more dreams are dashed. Everyone expecting it to be this year, could be their year, and a little bit of a reset on expectations.
I'd say the March Madness picks are usually pretty interesting as well, so I'd go with that.
Drivers pretty spread out here. We did actually have 2 drivers that started from the pits. One, I think it was Zachary King in the 47 and the 88 of Chris Camburn. And I actually thought that Chris in the 88, he wasn't going to be able to make tonight's race based on the Discord, but maybe that might be what factored into him starting a little bit late here.
Yeah, I mean, it's better to start from the pits and not get the points at all. As this battle's starting to really heat up with these front 3, soon to be 4 if Patty can get up there. But it's single filed out into a bit of a train right now, and I think it's because the tires are starting to get a little bit of grip out of them. And again, with the window being 41 to 44 laps, it's right within the window where you can actually do this on 5 stops as the 4 slaps the fence.
Yeah, and just checking in on that 3rd place car, Braxton DeWeese, up 4 positions from the start of the race. in that top 3. And again, we called him out as a driver who probably needs to win to feel comfortable at the end of this one. But running third, if he can get some stage points here in the first stage, that might lighten the load a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, if any stage points, will be helpful. And again, with the stages going 70 and 140, everyone is looking to split these stages up, I would assume, relatively close together.
Deweese beginning to hound the back of that 4 car.
Yeah, he got a good run through the middle of 1 and 2, just nowhere to take it. And, that's just the nature of these next-gen cars, is dirty air plays a huge role. So unless you get a huge enough run that you can pull up alongside somebody, as he's trying to do off of 3 and 4, he's going to try to send it now down deep into 1 and 2, try to force the 4 off the throttle. And I think he's going to make the pass sticky. Yes, he does.
Making it look easy here at Darlington. 4 going to get a run, though, back to the inside, and Patty's going to push him.
Yeah, Patty's going to make this a 2 for 1, or at least try to. And he's going to make it interesting here. In that STP Chevrolet, throwing it back to, looks... Whoa,
oh, contact! Everybody looking to stay out of that 8 car. He keeps it almost straight. And there's the first caution of the night. We are definitely going to have to go back and see what happened there. We kind of had a bad camera angle right as it was happening.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if there was contact or maybe he caught the fence and just jerked the thing sideways. Let's take a look. Coming off of 3 and 4. Oh,
yeah.
That I think he got loose. I think I don't know, man. I think he just got loose and just overcorrected trying to stay off of him.
Now let's jump on board if we can with Braxton and see what that looked like from inside the car. I don't know. I think those two were just kind of crowding each other.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That counter steering did seem a little bit late. So if there was contact, it was very slight.
Let's watch now on board with a 30.
Yep, there was. There's going to be a big old donut right in the middle of the door on that 8 car.
Well, the drama already playing out here tonight. We were just talking about how bad that 8 car needs to win tonight, or at least have a phenomenal run in the stages and the end of the race. And that is going to set him back.
Yeah, that's definitely not going to be helpful here because he's already going to be down a set of tires. Yeah, I don't know. And yeah, looking at that 12, I stand corrected. That's definitely a different look than what I was originally thinking.
I see a picture. I think this might be a family paint scheme throwback based on the Discord.
And that's the thing is, a lot of people were asking this weekend, dealing with this weekend because Darlington was in the actual Cup Series. Should Throwback Weekend be moved back to the 500? I'm not sure. I mean, it deserves its own weekend for sure, but the thing about it is, do you want to have it as a 400-mile race, or do you want to, deal with it being a 500 and it's in the middle of the playoffs or the start of the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure I have any complaints either way. Throwback's a fun weekend. Playoffs are fun weekends. Darlington's a fun weekend. I'm not sure. I know the drivers have complained in real life about it, but I think they just need to get over it. Like, they're here, dance for us. We're here to watch the show, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you had, I think the compromise would be to move one of them around to where either it's the 400 that's going to be the playoff race, or the 500 that's the playoff race, and whatever isn't is Throwback Weekend. It needs to have its own feel.
Yeah, so just checking some of the leaderboard here. We've got both of the Purcell brothers, Kyle and Sean. They're out of the race and 16 laps down. Not sure. Maybe we can get somebody in the chat that knows more about that, but that was not expected.
Not at all. I mean, one of them had a shot to get into the playoffs, so something must have happened. But as the Iracing.com pace car makes a hard left-hand turn, we're about to get a restart. 20 down, 50 to go here in the first segment. Back in the restart zone and back on the throttle. Here we go. And Myers clears everybody going into turn one.
Yeah, Myers has led every lap so far, and he's going to stay out front on this restart as well. Colby, a little bit more contact with the wall.
Yeah. You can get away with a little bit, but you can't keep knocking that fence down because you're going to end up breaking a toe link at some point, and you're going to end up having a lot bigger issue than what you were bargaining for.
And we did see a pretty good mix. About half the field pitting and half the field staying out. As we take a look at our pit road stats, you can see all the way back to Tizio, those drivers from there on up have not stopped yet today. That's about 14th. And then Cody Neal and Jake Champion going to be the first cars that did stop. But again, we talked about the need to ration your tires for this race. And we actually have another caution out right now. As
oh boy,
EVC, Ethan Van Collie, is slow on track. Let's take a look at what happened to that car. Racing side by side with the 95.
And that tends to happen here at Darlington, especially off of turn 2.
Yeah, 85 got in the wall, but I mean, even if he didn't, I don't think the 95 was going to make the turn either.
No, that's just the funnel effect at Darlington.
Take a look one more time. Full speed here. Yeah, I don't think that either of them were going to make it, and they were both determined to stay side by side.
Yeah, that's one of those where discretion's the better part of valor, and unfortunately, it's a hard lesson learned.
And again, we've got kind of a split of drivers coming in and those staying out. Jonathan Duncan is now the leader.
Now, this is interesting that these guys are coming in after going half a tank already. Do they think that these tires will last longer than the fuel run?
I mean, I'm not sure. I think the reason most people are pitting now is we mentioned the fuel window, 44 to 47 laps. If you can get 46 out of it, you can make it to the end of this first stage. So I think everybody that's pitting right now is doing it because they know they can make it. Everyone who pitted this caution before, I don't think they can make it. And these,
no, I don't think so either.
These 8 drivers that have stayed out just now, they definitely can't make it. So I don't know what the, we'll have to go back and see if anyone took tires here or not. I mean, based on the...
Let me take a look here.
It's mostly 6 and 7 second pit stops, so that's either fuel only or 2 tires, but I'm not sure why you would take 2 tires. So I'm going to go ahead and assume that's fuel.
Yeah, I would assume so.
So again, we're seeing Jonathan Duncan and Bentley Glazer are going to be the front row here. Those are 2 drivers who came in above the cut line but need to have a great race to stay there. Then just behind them is going to be Zach Lockett and Adam Ball. And those are 2 drivers that really need a great race to stay in this thing. So we're seeing, I think that's part of this strategy here is track position hard to get here tonight. And some of the drivers that are going to need it at the end or know they need to get some stage points, just trying to stay up front, maybe stay out of the wrecks.
Yeah, I would assume that because, again, Darlington, next-gen car, everyone's going to talk about dirty air. Everyone's going to talk about how hard it is to pass. Track position is king. And right now we are seeing it, but also strategy can really play out, especially if you're, trying to go long on these pit stops. But for the third time tonight, as the iRacing.com pace car makes that hard left-hand turn, it's about to get real interesting. We got some new players up front. Duncan's going to lead him down to the restart zone. He's on the throttle. Glazer's alongside, and we are gone again.
That's going to be the first time we haven't seen that 12 car out front. He is back in 13th here, battling with Braxton and the 97, and there's contact.
Oh,
97 and the 8 both tag each other in the wall a little bit, but everybody keeps it straight.
These cars are resilient, but they're not that resilient. Can't keep doing that too often.
And again, I think you can just see the pressure of the playoffs. The 8 car knows he needs to go to the front and he needs to stay there, carrying a bunch of momentum, and then the 12 put him 3 wide, and that just wasn't going to fit here at Darlington.
No, even on fresh tires, you don't go 3 wide here. I mean, you're lucky if you got a lane and a half here, let alone 2. So good luck.
Yeah, for anyone not familiar with this track or hasn't put some laps in on the sim, it looks a mile wide. But the racing line, where you can put your car and make it off the corner without catching the wall, only about a car and a half wide. And that's what you see right here. The lines these drivers are taking is pretty much 2 car lengths off the wall or 1 car length off the wall. And then later on, as people get desperate to make moves, you'll see people going right up against the wall, maybe only an inch off of it, trying to carry as much speed as they can.
Yeah, you think you can run the apron down there, but it will loosen your car up like there's no tomorrow. So you really can't do anything about that. So this is one of those tracks where you either force the mistake one way or the other, or you wait for somebody to really screw up, or you pass them on pit road. So that's the only way you can really get anything done around Darlington.
Yeah, such a unique track. As we throw the track map up on the screen, you can see this kind of awkward oval egg shape. Each turn or each end of the track completely different. The banking's similar, but the way it drives is very different. And the reason for this is that there is a pond kind of the top left corner of this map, and it was cheaper just to build the track around it than try and move the pond way back in the day. And that seemed, it seemed like a compromise at the time, but it really created one of the most iconic tracks. As it looks like the 88 is off pace, no caution.
Looks like he went around. Yeah, Stark's Pond decided to throw a little bit of a monkey wrench in here, and they were like, yeah, you ain't messing up our visual. You just got to build around it, and that's what they end up doing.
Oh, it looks like it was actually the 85 that checked up, and then the 88, just trying to stay out of him, got tagged from behind by the 95.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I think that nose got busted in pretty good.
And while we're looking at this, our third caution has just come out. Ryan Patty involved in this one.
Yeah, we see guys coming off of the bank in there in 3 and 4.
Oh,
does he save it? No, he doesn't. And then it turns into worse going through 3 and 4. I saw somebody else sliding off the banking as we were coming off that picture.
Yeah, it looks like Paul Crumray. That's a new name. Don't recognize it, but he's involved in this one too. The 83. Oh, hard into the wall.
That could be a race ender.
Yeah, he did pick up a meatball flag there, so he's got heavy damage.
Yeah, the old Coors machine. I think the can got crumpled on that one.
And this is going to shake things up. Ryan Patty, one of those drivers, all over 50 points to the good coming into this. But if he doesn't pick up any stage points and gets involved in another accident like that later on, no one is safe other than Brian Smith.
Yeah, I don't think Patty's got a whole lot of damage to that car, so he might be okay. That 83 Coors car, however, I'm not so sure about. But as we're looking through some of the field here, Smith leading right now, and it looks like
I think Cody Neal's actually leading.
Oh, Cody Neal, yeah, Cody Neal's leading. I'm still getting used to these paint schemes, so bear with me a little bit. It's Smith that's in another Mark Martin paint job.
Yeah, and even if you were used to the paint schemes, they're all different tonight. So,
yeah, that's like the third Mark Martin paint job I've seen tonight.
Yeah, top 3 drivers, all with Buddy Motorsports, as we take a look at how their team is running. Actually, 4 of those Buddy Motorsports drivers in the top 5 right now.
Oh, that says a lot.
And all of them in the playoffs for the moment.
Well, that just says how strong that team is with those Mustangs. And, you know, they're the lead horse when it comes down to it. It's not surprising. I mean, you're always going to have one team, if not 2, that are going to dominate the playoffs, even in NASCAR. And, well, we've got the team that's doing it here now.
Yeah, Taylor, the one that needs the most points here to stay in it, though. That 08 car.
Yeah, it looks like there's still a few cars that are circling around trying to catch up to the field as I'm kind of taking a peek at the track map.
Yeah, and the pit strategy all over the place now. Patrick Colby, the only driver I think so far this race that I saw take 4 tires, or at least the first driver to do it. Looks like Jonathan Duncan might have done it here on this last stop. But watch that 28 car. He's going to have the freshest tires of everyone here up front.
Yeah, he's hoping to run Tide here a little bit tonight and see how that goes. But as the iRacing.com pace car makes that turn again, Barney's got the green flag in his hand, and off we go one more time. Neal gets an amazing start.
Smith able to clear the 28, but now he's going to look inside.
Those 4 fresh tires are going to do him some good. He's able to hang the bottom. He just turned left and stuck his foot in it. And he's already looking to try to get the lead.
Going down low. Going to tuck him behind here. You really want to get a great run off of 2. I think one place you definitely don't want to be side by side is the exit of turn 2.
No. We saw how bad that is. It's been like that ever since they reconfigured this place in 97. That funnel off of turn 2 will tear up everybody and their brother if they're too wide over there. Yes, I'm old enough to remember when they reconfigured this place.
Oh, Colby tags the wall.
Oh, that's going to hurt him off a little bit speed-wise, but he's been bouncing that car off the fence for a while now.
And this is a track where that is pretty common. They call it the Darlington stripe because the track puts a stripe down the side of your car.
We'd already lose track of how many times it's happened, so that's why we don't have a counter up for that.
And again, I just want to remind everyone the playoff standings so you know how much it means to these drivers. Patrick Colby here in the 28. He came in only 19 points to the good. Looking to get a great stage finish so he can add a little buffer to that cutoff line. And Cody Neal, he's in a little bit better situation, but not much. Just 7 points safer coming into this thing than Colby. And these two drivers just trying to get that stage win, get as many bonus points as they can.
Of course, our YouTube.com chat has been blowing up. Chris DeWeese talking about everything. Big shout out to all our sponsors and supporters showing up at Winchester Speedway for Braxton's first real life event. Great weekend. Braxton did unbelievable. Duke Nukem, shout out to the 85 throwback.
And there goes Cody Neal. Sorry to interrupt you, Shane. Cody Neal got loose.
That looks like it hurt.
Saved it initially and then hit the inside wall.
That car is going to be hurt.
I'm going to go back and watch that lap leading up to this. I don't think there was contact. I think he just got loose off the nose here.
Well, he scrapes the wall going through 1 and 2. So you can already tell that car's got a problem with those older tires. And then the 28's just going to close right up on him, stick the nose in there in 3 and 4. He's got the left side headlight underneath him. So he's going to get a good run off. And if there is contact, it's very minor, but that impact in the fence is going to kill that car.
Yeah, well, if there was contact, it was because the 38 checked up really hard here. And that might have been what it was. He was headed to the wall, and I think he checked up, and Colby just didn't have time to react.
Yeah, if there was a lift, it was minimal, but it was just enough to get Colby right back up on his back bumper and just jack him up. And of course, earlier speaking about my day job, Snowman Multimedia checking in. That's my boss man, Brian Snow, where you guys can find me 5 days a week. But tonight, doing a little moonlight and doing some sim racing action for you guys.
As we do a rundown through our top 10 now, Patrick Colby in the lead, then Jacob Smith running in second. Brian Smith, the 78. We mentioned he's locked in, the only driver in the field that's locked in, winning both races so far in this round with a Mark Martin throwback scheme.
1998 with the red rims. That thing looks beautiful.
And then the 08 of Mike Taylor is running fourth, but he has Finnegan Myers on his back bumper. Myers had led the first 22 laps of the race before deciding to come grab some fuel. He's running in fifth place. Then Jake Gladelich in the 14. That looks like a nice, either a Clint Boyer or a Tony Stewart throwback.
That's a Tony Stewart throwback. That's 2016 Indy.
He's running in sixth place. Then Zach Lockett, the Rocket, number 93, running in seventh right now. We mentioned he's one of those drivers that almost has to win, keep his playoff hopes alive. Then in eighth place, the 32 of Cody Eldred. That's going to be Bentley Glazer. And then the 8 car, who we've seen involved in a few incidents here, heading back towards the front, now into the top 10.
Yeah, that car has been resilient. As we all know, this place is known for attrition, so if you can keep the car out there, you never know what can happen. As this battle is heating up between Taylor and Myers, all that's doing though is letting those top 2 cars get away.
Now, right now, Zach Lockett, the best running must-win car. Deweese also in the top 10.
Yeah, Lockett really is going to... Ooh. Taylor slapped the fence. Yeah, Lockett and Deweese are going to have to pull some strategy, I think, to win this race. I'm looking at this 47 laps in already. I think those 2 cars are really going to need some help getting up there as Myers makes a move on Taylor to try to pick up third. Going to get it done going down into turn 1 using the apron, which is what a lot... Oh, he hits the fence and then he gets rear-ended by the 08. What is it they often say about this place? It's got the personality of a super speedway, but a temperament of a short track.
That's about right.
It's fitting tonight, that's for sure.
Yeah, I don't know if the wall at Martinsville reaches out and grabs you like it does here, though.
Oh, that's why they don't say the wall at Martinsville grabs you. The wall of the lady in black grabs you because she ain't happy sometimes.
Yeah, the top 5 or so all getting spread out, but back here, this is the battle for about 7th through 12th. They are packed tight together.
That's what you call a hornet's nest here.
Eldred, Glazer, Deweese.
Deweese on the high side trying to make a run stick here. I think he's going to make it happen. Just sends it in on the top shelf, makes the pass.
Yeah, I think if a driver gives me the top, I would love to pass him on the high side.
Although this place is a cheese grater, running the top line, you do save a little bit of tire. So if you leave that top open for somebody, you know they're going to take it.
Here goes Deweese to the inside of Eldred.
As Eldred slapped the fence there too.
And that puts the 8 car in 8th position.
I think Eldred's got a problem. He ended up turning dead left off the corner.
Oh, contact is Duncan into the inside wall.
Hard. Oh, is that going to bring out a caution?
And that's like the third or fourth car we've seen get loose, make heavy contact with the inside wall, and not bring out a caution.
Yeah, Duncan's car may be hurt.
Yeah, definitely some visible damage there on both the right fender from the contact with Eldred and the left fender in contact with the wall.
I'd be more concerned about the towing on the left front because that car cannot be happy right now.
And
he's probably screaming that left front.
This pack of drivers still racing hard. You can see a little bit of contact to the front of Glazer's car as well.
It's just a little early battle scar from here. It's going to get worse. It will definitely get worse.
Let's take a quick look at our fuel situation. We mentioned the fuel run going to be somewhere between 41 and 44 laps. We've still got 17 to go here. So all of these drivers, Patrick Colby, Jacob Smith, Mike Taylor, and Brian Smith especially, I don't think Brian can make it. I think Colby, Smith, Jacob Smith, and Taylor are going to be close. So Finnegan Myers, I think, is the first driver that can absolutely make it on fuel. And then Zach Lockett and Braxton DeWeese, the next two drivers in that bucket.
Yeah, but I think some of these guys are also banking on there being another caution because we had that rash early. Now we've gotten into longest green flag run so far this race. So there might be another caution these guys are banking on to help them out.
Could be. I think the interesting battle is going to be here, the 28 and the 12. We know the 12 is fast. But he's also, I mean, it looks like he was on fuel only that last stop, and Colby on 4 fresh tires a little bit longer before that.
Yeah, but the problem is this 12 is fast no matter what you got on there for tires. So I hate to say it, I don't think Colby's going to be keeping this lead much longer. That 12 car has ran him down.
And Myers, just a part-time driver. I think, if I remember right, rules allow up to 5 races for part-time drivers, and this will be his 5th of the year. This is kind of his last shot to make a splash in this season. Play spoiler here in the playoffs. He's going to be pushing hard.
Yeah, if he's got a chance to wreak havoc and say, hey, you know what? Someone may not go 3 for 3, but I'm going to make sure somebody else stays out of the playoffs. Why not take an opportunity like that as he's trying to make a run here for the lead on Colby?
Oh, and Colby's loose.
Oh, he got Colby sideways. I think he jacked him up.
Yeah, let's go back and look at that one more time.
Gets a huge run from the center off. And
I don't know.
I don't know. He might have.
All right, one more time. We got to see this pass because this is the pass for the lead.
Look at the run he gets right there from the center 1 and 2. That's what makes or breaks a lap here. And I guess the 28 just got loose.
Yeah.
But holy cow, do you want to talk about a bad glare right now?
Yeah, that sun is right in your face.
Oh, these guys cannot wait for this track to go under the lights because that glare all the way down the back straightaway going into 3 is evil right now. I almost had to throw my sunglasses on.
DeWeese and Lockett are tracking down the 14 car of Gladelich. I believe they are on fresher tires and in a better fuel situation than the 14.
Yeah, I think so, which means the 14 may just want to be smart about this as we got 10 laps to go here in the first stage. May just want to be smart and let these guys go and live the fight for the second stage.
Yeah, the 14 not in the playoffs, so he's racing for glory alone.
Well, you race for glory, you're still willing to take risks.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care who you are. A driver's going to race no matter if they're in the playoffs or not for a win.
There goes DeWeese to the inside, side by side, trying to pull him.
Oh, he'll get him into 1. Case in point right there.
9 laps to go here in stage 1. As of right now, Patrick Colby, Mike Taylor, Braxton Deweese, Zach Lockett, all in great positions to get some stage points. Try to build some breathing room in the points.
Yeah, right now those guys need to have a solid stage one and hope some of their competitors that they're trying to pass in points don't get up there. And it looks like that's what's going to happen here with about 7.5 to go here in the first stage.
You know, it looks like Lockett having some network issues. He's blinking out a little bit. That's not going to help his run to the front.
Nope. I think the Rocket might be a little too quick for his internet.
Got a 3-car battle. Make that a 5-car battle back around 15th. Brzezowski, Champion, Diaz, Delph, and Widener.
And throw Patty in the mix.
Is that? I think that you're right. That is Patty. Is he must be a lap down. I think he is. First driver and only driver 1 lap down, so he'll be looking to get this lucky dog here at the end of the stage. He's hoping Myers doesn't come across any more lap traffic, and I don't think Myers will be, so I think Patty will be safe to get the lucky dog. We take a look at drivers who have had to make heavy repairs. Camburn and King with multiple minutes. Then Widener and Gilbert with almost a minute. And then Deweese and EVC a little bit of repairs there. But Deweese, the only one of these drivers with heavy damage that's running in the top 10 right now. He's in that 6th position. Oh, as Patty tags the wall.
Oh, that did more than put a Darlington stripe on that car. I think you can see the roll bars on the right side.
Yeah, his crew chief needs to calm him down. Again, he's the only car lap down, safely in that lucky dog position. The next car is 6 laps behind him. All he's got to do is make it to the end of the stage here without damage.
Or getting turned.
Yeah, and he is it's getting dicey here for the 30. Now, it looks like Colby has fallen back behind Jacob Smith and is under fire from Mike Taylor as well.
Well, that doesn't surprise me. It's the age of those tires are showing up now for Colby, so it doesn't surprise me any that he's going to be falling back a little bit, but it's going to be a net gain at the end of the day for him.
Diaz and Brzezowski are side by side right in front of Patty.
Diaz is one of those that's got to go big this race. It's a win and in situation for him. A lot of guys with these tires falling off are grabbing that fence, especially off of turn 2.
Yeah, I'm expecting for this stage, I think we're going to see everybody hit pit road and get all 4 tires. They look like they're miserable out there. Again, just trying to ration those tire sets to be there in the end.
Oh, yeah, these guys are screaming they need tires. I can guarantee you that. As we come up to the 1 to go here in the stage. I think Colby might be safe for 3rd, unless a huge run comes up there for Taylor. Nope, Taylor hit the fence. That's going to cost him the run.
And just behind them, Deweese trying to get one more spot before this stage is over. He has tracked down Brian Smith.
I don't think he's going to get there.
Should be one more lap. He is there.
Well, he might. I don't know. This 78's been pretty good in 1 and 2. He's looking strong still.
Just got to wonder how hard is the 8 willing to drive here to get some points, knowing the 78's safe.
Well, he poked his nose in, but he knew he wasn't going to get it, so there you go.
Oh,
he's trying to cross him over. No,
not quite.
Just not enough.
Yeah, I think he played the smart move of backing off before getting too wide on turn entry, and then the 78 actually got tight and had to check up, and maybe if the 8 had been battling with him, he would have gotten that position. Either way, It's Jacob Smith, Patrick Colby, Mike Taylor, Braxton Deweese, and Zach Lockett, and then John McNeil. They are the drivers who needed points and got them. Getting a little bit safer. Adam Ball just missing out on stage points that he desperately needed. But it's Finnegan Myers up front. We talked about the part-time driver in the 12 trying to play spoiler tonight.
Well, he's doing a job of it right now. Pole sitter ends up coming back to get the stage win. That 12 car was looking strong all first segment long and proved it here.
And with that is going to end the first stage. Driver's going to be coming down pit road. We're going to take our first commercial break of the night and be back for the start of stage 2 with the Icon Cup Series here on SRM. Welcome back. Stage 2 underway with the Icon Cup Series here at Darlington in the Southern 300. It's a cutoff race here in the first round of the playoffs. Finnegan Myers continues to lead. He's led 40 laps tonight. A part-time driver trying to play spoiler, as a number of drivers are desperately looking for stage points and a great finish to make sure they can continue their playoff run. And it has been nothing but action so far tonight. Shane, what are your thoughts?
If that first stage is any indication of how the next over 100 plus, 140-ish laps are going to be, we are going to be in for a thrill ride here tonight as the 08 slaps the fence again. This is going to be one of those nights that I think we're going to see something get broken, and I think it's not going to be just somebody's spirits into getting into playoffs.
Yeah, I think if we, the race of the night, as I'm kind of checking my notes, trying to do the math here. You look at how we came into this race. Michael Taylor in the 08, 2 points to the good. Braxton Deweese, 6 points in the wrong direction. Deweese got stage points, but Taylor got more. So that gap for Deweese to try and get into 12th position above the cut line actually got bigger by 2 points.
Yeah.
So if I'm Braxton, I've got to make sure I'm ahead of that 08 car for the rest of the race.
And that's hard to do because that 08 has been humming majority of this event so far.
The other driver right there at the line is Adam Ball. He was 11th at the end of the stage, so he lost ground to Michael Taylor as well. I believe Deweese is now 8 points below the cut. Adam Ball now 9 points below the cut. So those three drivers, barring a new winner here tonight, that's really where the battle is. We will do our best to keep the math updated for you.
Yeah, math right now, this hour of night with this much action. Yeah, I'm good with that. Oh, and speaking of a hornet's nest that we were talking about earlier, holy cow, we got a pack of it right here.
Yeah, under the stage caution, every single car on the lead lap, and most of the ones a lap down, all came down pit road. You know, one thing I'm seeing on screen, it looks like Ryan Patty actually did not get the lucky dog that we were expecting him to. Not exactly sure, but they're 3 wide on track as Diaz throws it in down low, goes by the 8 and the 32.
That was huge. That was a huge send.
Oh, and I think Deweese tagged the wall. I mean, all season long, we've seen such gentlemanly, courteous racing here with the Icon Cup Series, but right now in this cutoff race, everyone knows, especially those drivers on the cutoff line, that they can't afford to play nice necessarily.
No, the gentlemanly thing is out the window now. I mean, it's a cutoff race. It's Darlington. It's all take at this point.
We also mentioned Cody Neal came into this race 26 points above that cut line. He's out of this race. That's going to be another driver to pay attention to as we close this thing out. He's in 27th right now. But he's going to be kind of crossing his fingers that those drivers at the cut line don't continue to pick up stage points.
Yeah, he's sweating bullets right now inside that hauler, hoping for the best. As this battle is heating up big time.
We've got another battle up front as Brian Smith and Patrick Colby bumper to bumper in traffic here. Smith looking inside with the run.
Yeah, but Colby ends up sending it in a whole lot deeper on that outside. And the one thing about Darlington is that inside car, unless you're up to that guy's door, you got to back off and try to set him up again, as I believe the 78 just caught the fence coming off.
Yeah, a lot of movement in the field as we take a look at our biggest gainers. John McNeil is up 17 positions, sitting in the top 10. He was one of those drivers that needed a good run tonight. Came in 24 points above the cut line. Picked up a couple stage points there in stage 1. I think if he gets a few more in stage 2, he's going to be pretty happy and feeling a little more comfortable about that cutoff line here at the end of the race.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, to come up 17 positions here at Darlington, you're doing something right.
So we saw a lot of different kind of pit, fuel, and tire strategies there in stage 1, but right now, everyone on the same one. 4 fresh tires. See what you can do. We're going to check our fastest 5 for 5. And guess what? Our 3 fastest drivers on track are the 3 drivers at the front of the field. Finnegan Myers, Jacob Smith, and Mike Taylor. Then Zach Lockett running 6th, and Patrick Colby in 4th are the next fastest drivers. So the top 5, top 6, all doing what they need to do to stay there right now.
And that entire pack is only separated by just over a 1/10 of a second. That's close around here.
We got a pretty good 3-car battle here. Back around 15th, Eldred, Glazer, and Champion.
Yeah, these guys are definitely heating those tires. Oh!
As you see the 32 get loose, Glazer going to go down and take advantage. Can he clear him, though? He does.
Yeah, definitely. I think that 32 is still not 100% happy with his car, but the one thing I'm noticing is the track is starting to get a little bit more shaded now. The sunlight is only beaming, it looks like, on the front straightaway, so the grip level is bound to be changing here before long. This battle right here heats up.
Yeah, we saw Diaz throw it 3 wide to get around Eldred and Deweese, and I'm not sure if the 8 really appreciated that. You're working somebody over, you're trying to get a pass done 2 wide, and then you see somebody just throw it in and kind of throw off your whole corner and passing strategy. It doesn't cheer you up.
No, it doesn't sit well, especially when it's when you're trying to get into. Oh, 32 hard in the fence.
I think it's a 95.
Oh, is it?
That's Widener.
Look pretty similar. Yeah, I think it is.
Oh, and then tight racing here as Brzezowski is inside of Diaz. Deweese going to try to follow him around. Glazer now getting by the 95.
Yeah, that 95 has got to be killed. He buried that right front in the fence.
Yeah, he is dropping back through the field now. All the way back to 18th.
Yeah, you can see the damage to that right front fender. He hit that fence a ton.
And some lap traffic in front of the leader has brought Jacob Smith back into play for the lead.
And don't look now as Taylor kicks up the fence a little bit, but he's starting to reel these guys in.
That's the 47 car of Zachary King. Oh, come contact, and he goes around off the nose.
And, the floor catches him.
There's the 5th caution of the night. That is not what our leaders wanted to see. A little bit of contact there for both Myers and Smith. Zachary King spun, trying not to go another lap down.
I don't think the 12 was appreciating King holding him up, to be honest with you.
Let's go back and take a look. This last caution. Again, it was the 47 of Zachary King.
Yeah, the 12 is just going to get the run here off the bottom and just the subtlest of contact. And then the 4 ends up catching the 47 as he's coming off.
And that was pretty heavy contact there for the 4. That nose got pushed in.
Yeah, he caught him in the tire. It's not like he caught bodywork. He caught nothing but tire.
But yeah, that is a that's an interesting wreck there. You know, as lap traffic, you have the option to be courteous to the leader, but I wouldn't say it's mandatory, especially in a race this long where losing a lap is going to take you out of the race entirely. Versus me, I think King was 2 laps down at the time, but in position to get a lucky dog, as there's really only one other car 1 lap down. That's Jonathan Duncan.
Yeah, but also with it being this early, you kind of want to be able to get out of the way. And like I said, I don't think the 12 was appreciating King holding him up. And he just got the run and just didn't bother, lifting.
Yeah, I mean, I think the 12 is lucky that's all that happened to him, was just a little bit of a fender rub. And the 4, really, unfortunately, probably the biggest loser in that wreck in terms of catching some damage.
Oh, and there's contact right there between a couple of guys.
Yeah,
between the 47 and the 13. Oh, that's a fine how do you do.
Yeah, things getting interesting again. The math is a little too hard to keep up with us, but we just want to flag some drivers that are in bad situations and not necessarily getting better. Jonathan Duncan came in 10th in points, 19 points above that cut line, but he had some heavy impact with the inside wall. You see him right there at the end of pit road in that 13 car. He is
he's gonna.
Let's see.
He might be sitting there a while with all the damage he had.
Yeah, he's sitting in 22nd. And remember, Michael Taylor, who is that first driver in right now, he gained 7 points at the stage break over Adam Ball, who is the first driver out. And right now, actually, Braxton DeWeese, we believe, is the first driver out. Again, it's hard to keep up with all of the stage points and the possible bonus points here at the end of the race. But I think if you're Jonathan Duncan, I'm feeling a little nervous. I need to get a few more positions, maybe a few more stage points if I can, just to stay safe. Cody Neal out of the race. He came in just 26 points to the good, and he is sitting in 27th out of the race. And there we go. We're back racing one more time. The 55 is out front for the time being. He did not pit. And he is already losing positions.
He's getting swarmed.
As Myers
already went around him. Oh, the 4's in the fence. We've been saying that a lot tonight.
Yeah, now Brian Smith up to 4th. Gotta think he is pulling for his teammate Michael Taylor. And might be racing some of these other drivers hard because he does not want a new winner here in this round, because that would push Taylor out.
What the 78 is hoping for right now is that those other 2 cars in front of him, the 12 and the 4, start battling so he can get up there and steal the show again and literally do what Logano did in 2015 by sweep the first round. So that's what he's hoping to do right at this point. Looks like we got a battle forming behind the 55. Looks like the 87 and 08 are going at it here. Taylor's going to make the move, get it to stick here in 3 and 4. And right now what we're looking at is as we get close to the 100 lap mark is the track is starting to finally go through its first big change, because there is nothing with the sun shining on it now. So this track's going to start gripping up a little bit more, which means I can guarantee you the speeds are going to be getting higher, times are going to be dropping, and these cars, the tires may start lasting a little bit longer throughout this second and third stages. So we'll have to wait and see if that run, if the fuel window might be more dictated by actual fuel instead of, waiting to see if the tires fall off.
Yeah, a couple positions swapping up front. Brian Smith now up to 2nd, trying to track down the 12. Jacob Smith back to 3rd. Taylor up to 4th.
Yeah, that 78's reeled in the 12, but again, the 12 just gets that run from the center off and puts about 3 car lengths on the 78, and that's where he's been able to be stronger than everybody, is the center off of 1 and 2. Everywhere else, he seems relatively similar, maybe a 10th or 2, give or take, but the center off of 1 and 2 is where he's been making his money every single lap.
The other thing I noticed is we were kind of counting this 55 out here at the start of the run as he was dropping quickly, but now he has settled into 5th and is kind of holding position there.
Yeah, it's where the tires finally equalized after they cooled off. You cool them off underneath the caution, you get the heat back into them after you cycle, and I guess the 55 staying out wasn't exactly a bad thing.
Yeah, we're going to take a peek at the pit strategy here, because almost everybody pitted under that last caution, but not everybody on the same strategy. Myers, Smith, Taylor, Smith, Grenell, all with 4 tires, and that's paying off at the front. And then Glazer with just 2 tires.
Yeah, Grenell, though, last came in 29 laps ago, so those tires are pretty well used.
Yeah, and then there's a whole bunch of drivers from Jake Champion on back that went fuel only, trying to save a tire set. So if you're those drivers at the front, they're kind of doubling down for maybe some stage points here. There's going to be a couple drivers further back in the field with an extra tire set as we see the 4 car slam the wall.
Yeah, that car's starting to tighten up real hard coming off of turn 2. And if I was at 4, I'd be a little bit concerned about how hard he's hitting that fence. I'd start taking a little bit of brake bias out of it or something to try to help loosen that car up.
Now, we talked a little bit about the history of the track and how wide it is, but how everyone spends their time up on the banking. When they actually built this track, they thought drivers would stay on the flat apron and only put the banking in to save them if they were wrecking. And then pretty quickly, drivers figured out the banking was the fastest way around the track, and there was no wall on the edge of the track, so drivers would go flying over that ridge. And eventually, track owners added the wall, and then drivers really got familiar with it.
Well, just ask Hill Yarborough about that after they put the guardrails in the 60s, what happened. It was right over there that he actually went off here, what's now 3 and 4.
You can catch some pretty good highlight videos from the old days. Cars going up and over. It kind of looks like the 4 is holding up this group of cars right here, as Smith and Myers are just pulling away, and Taylor just kind of splitting the difference.
Yeah, I think that 4's got more damage than what he thought, because he has not looked happy at all these last handful of laps, and he's got a queue of cars behind him that are ready just to get around him. But the thing is, where are you going to pass the guy? He's running the exact line that you're wanting to run, and it's just holding you up to the point where someone's going to get frustrated and use that, we can't call it chrome anymore, so carbon fiber horn, I guess?
Composite alloys, whatever it is.
Carbon fiber horn, that'll work. And just move the guy out of the way.
There goes Colby down to the inside of the 55.
Yeah, Colby's going to get the run off of 3 and 4, but just can't go anywhere with it. .55 rides the fence a little bit.
Almost looked like he was trying to get to the outside of Jacob Smith.
What he did was get a huge run coming off, but he's still got nowhere he can take it. He's going to try to make it work on the bottom. A 28 sticks the headlight out underneath. Oh, the 55 uses the 4 up a little bit. They're beating and banging.
Not happy with each other.
Yeah, and the 4 stays ahead of the 55, but right now, there's steam coming off of those cars, and it's not from the tires.
And it's just bringing more and more drivers into this battle. Now all the way back to champion in 10th. They are all right here as a pack. Again, we saw the 4 kind of make contact earlier on this run, lose touch with the top 3 as if he has some damage, and now he's kind of holding up this pack.
Yeah, and there's about 5-6 other cars that are about a second or 2 away from joining the back edge of this and turning this into a full-blown train.
I want to thank everybody down in the live chat for watching along with us tonight. Let us know who you're pulling for, who you think's going to win this stage, who you think's going to be the first driver out of the playoffs.
Hard to just cross the halfway point.
Pretty great race so far.
Yeah, 55 once again up off the fence. He is doing everything possible to get away from that 4 and try to make a move, but that 4 is just holding this entire line up. I mean, at some point, you know, enough is going to be enough, and someone's going to end up moving them. I hate to say it, but it's going to happen. But this is what we've been wanting. This is the excitement we've needed here tonight. I mean, you guys aren't missing anything up front. I mean, Myers and Smith have checked out.
I'm almost wondering if there's some fuel saving going on here, Shane. So most of these drivers pitted on lap 93, and that would be 47 laps to the stage. And our fuel window, I believe, was like 41 to 44. So if you're trying to go 47, you're going to have to get in line and draft and just stay there. And that's kind of what this whole pack has been doing outside of the 55 and the 4 are getting side by side every now and then. I wonder if that's what these drivers are doing.
Well, it could be, because these guys, I'm checking over the lap times, these guys are running about a second off of their best. And again, with that being tire wear induced as well, you know, there could be some fuel saving going on. So it wouldn't surprise me if they kind of back things down a little bit. But the other big thing I'm noticing is it has cooled off immensely here tonight. 73 degrees air temp, 82 track. This is going to be a fun night as these lights come up at Darlington. Oh, the 4 bounces it off the fence again. That's going to open up the door for the 55 to try to make a run down to the inside. Can he make it stick this time? He throttles up big time. Shows the headlight. Oh, there's contact between them. He puts the 4 in the fence. The 28 bounces off.
Everyone reacting, trying to stay clean and get around that 4. I was just going to say, the one place you can kind of muscle a pass on someone here is coming out of turn 4. If you can get to their inside in 3 and 4, the driver on the high line kind of needs to dive down away from the wall to make turn exited. If there's a car there, all they can do is lift.
Yeah, you need to drive the car down the hill in 3 and 4, whereas whoever is underneath you's already got the lane. The 55 just basically did that to the 4 and said, thank you, I'm taking this. And now the 87's trying to make the move on him, and he'll make it stick. And now the freight train is going to slowly go past him.
Oh, what was that?
55's coming to pit road, I think.
Wow. All that battling just to pit?
Is this
he was the one that had stayed out, remember?
Yeah, so it had to be.
It's catching up with him. I think he had last pitted on lap 72. So it was time.
Yeah, but here's the thing. If you know you're going to pit, why are you fighting with the guy?
Well, sometimes it's not about logic. It's about racing.
So you mean to tell me some drivers just don't have any logic when they're behind the wheel? That explains a whole lot in NASCAR.
But this, if this stays green, I'm not really sure this is going to hurt him all that much. He's going to come back out. Every other driver in the field, like we said, either they're really close and they're going to be slowing down to make it, or they're probably going to have to pit just for a splash if it stays green. So right now, he is the first car 1 lap down. If a caution comes out, he gets a lucky dog. He's okay. If it stays green, he's going to and they all pit, he's going to cycle back. And if they don't, and they all stretch it, he's going to catch that lucky dog at the stage.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's 20 laps to figure this out, so I mean,
actually, he just dropped behind Jonathan Duncan. Just as I said, he takes it back. Duncan was going to be in that lucky dog position. The 55 takes that back.
Yeah, the 55's on stickers, whereas Duncan has got used up stuff right now.
And Michael Taylor has caught his teammate Brian Smith. This is a battle for second. And I wouldn't expect Brian to race him all that hard here, right? Brian's locked in. His teammate's right on the cut line.
I'd expect him to kind of be easier on him than most. But, racer mentality, as we just said, there's not a whole lot of logic to a driver sometimes. We're still going to fight for the position, but at the same token, we know where we are as well when it comes to points. So,
you say that.
It depends on what happens.
But in 5th place is Kyle Diaz, a must-win driver. Right there to strike. Right there to get stage points. I think every position matters. And if I was Michael Taylor and Brian didn't let me get 1 extra point, I'm not going to buy him a beer tonight.
If I was that 08 and the 78 didn't give me that position, I would let them know under caution, dude, you may have cost me the playoffs. I'd shove my front end up underneath and be like, come on, man. But yet again, I'm also an old head when it comes to stuff like this.
Yeah, again, checking in on our fastest 5 for 5. The 2 fastest cars on track right now are Brian Smith and Mike Taylor as Taylor hits the wall. Third fastest is the leader, and then Chuck Van Schaik in 6th and Bentley Glazer in 4th. So again, the 5 fastest drivers all in the top 6, not necessarily in their respective order though, as Diaz just lost a position to the 23. And that's back in this train that was hung up behind the 4 car of Jacob Smith for many laps.
Yeah, and that 4 car has disappeared out of this train, so that definitely tells you something.
Yeah, Jacob all the way back in 14th. Kind of racing alone now.
I don't think that car is happy. He just skated up and about knocked the wall down. That car is pissed at him right now.
And Jacob was pretty well off on points. As long as he doesn't go a lap down, I think even if he finishes as the last car on the lead lap tonight, he'll be safe on points.
Yeah, but I don't think he's going to like the number he's got when he comes down pit road, because I think that car is going to have a few minutes of repairs on it.
Again, we see this top 3 starting to compress together. Just 14 laps to go in the stage.
As Taylor looks to the inside of the 78, he's just showing him the left front headlight saying, hey, look, I'm still here, dude. You got to help me out a little bit. I mean, I know we're teammates and everything, but help a brother out. Looks like they're getting ready to come up on the 13 at Duncan to lap him again.
Top 3 drivers all within a half second of each other. That is the best battle on track, but right behind them, the battle for a 4th is heating up. And then behind them, the battle for 6th on back.
Oh!
Getting spicy.
The 32 just absolutely whacked the wall.
And then Colby in the wall.
Colby grinds the right side sheet metal.
And uses it to slingshot around Diaz.
That's one way to do things around here.
And while that was happening, Taylor got around Brian Smith.
Finally.
And is now closing in on the 12.
Does he have enough time to get there, though? I mean, the 12 has been fast all race, and he's getting ready to put a lap on Duncan, and Duncan just immediately gets out of the way. Taylor ended up kissing the fence coming off of 4.
I mean, getting that 10-point stage win would double his buffer back to the cut line. If I'm Mike Taylor, I want that win.
Oh, yeah. It's like a shark seeing blood in the water. He sees the 12 struggling a little bit. He wants to get these points.
11 laps remain here in stage 2. 90 laps remain in the race.
Yeah, and right now, that 78's got the popcorn seat watching these 2 in front of him.
And again, I almost thought I heard them, lifting and pressing in the clutch to save fuel or something. Just kind of a weird sound as they drove by.
Either that or they might be downshifting in that corner. Because once the tires get old, these guys, I saw the Cup cars doing it a lot, last night. I think they might be downshifting.
We jump
a lot of coast going in.
Jump on board here
coasting.
with Mike Taylor.
He's coasting.
We talked about how drivers are going to be close and maybe even needing to save a little heavily.
Yeah, there's a lot of lifting and coasting going on right now.
Gonna get a run here.
Oh, big time run on the 12. He's got to figure out a way, if this is it, to take it, but he doesn't. He looks to the outside and drives it back down the hill trying to get the run. Top 3 within a half second, and I seriously don't think the 78 is going to be making too big of a move right now. He's content where he is. He knows he's got a top car. Something tells me the last stage he'll be the one to try to make some moves, but Taylor right now with another huge run goes to the inside this time. Oh, he's there. He is there.
Right on top of each other.
Oh, this is getting spicy. A little bit of contact.
And the
Taylor
08
makes
clears
it
him.
stick. And the 78 tries to go with him, but the 12's going to shut the door.
And we've got a caution. This is going to shake everything up. Bentley Glazer involved.
Oh my goodness gracious.
And he was running in that pack, kind of 6th on back that was battling here.
And he got hit.
Just got the bumper from the 48. Not sure if he checked up first, and then he's squirrely into the wall. Brzezowski just squeezes by. Diaz squeezes by.
Yeah, as he slides down, I think everyone's going to miss. Oh,
Delph in the 72.
Catches him. 72 is going to have some left front damage. The right front on the 87 is going to be hurt.
Let's go back and ride with Brzezowski if we can.
This might be a wide track, but everything happens quick. He sees the 87 right there. Woo! Good thing that wheel was turning to the left. All he did was yank it a little bit harder.
All right, that is going to be... Let's see here. We still have
5 to go.
6 laps to the stage. So I'm guessing I don't have the race control chat up. I think if they're within a certain number of laps, they would have made that the stage, but I don't think that's close enough.
No, I don't think that will be. To be quite honest with you, let me take a look here, see if there's anything going on in. It doesn't look like there's any discussion going on. So,
and again, we've got a split field, about half the field staying out, half the field coming down pit road. Finnegan Myers, he has nothing to gain from stage points, so he's going to flip the stage here. Come down pit road, knowing that all these guys who stayed out, they're going to have to pit at the end of the stage, and he's going to get the lead back to start stage 3. I think that's the move for him. And then Taylor's going to stay out, get those stage points. Deweese stays out, gains a ton of positions to put himself in position to get some points. Again, but he's still losing ground to Taylor every time he finishes a stage behind him.
Yeah, but here's the thing. There's also... Oh, who else was there that was... close? Let me take a look. Adam Ball as well. If he's not, doing much there with Taylor, he's also thinking about trying to stay ahead of Ball. So,
and I think I think Glazer is now in play. We just saw him involved in that incident. He was only 13 points to the good coming into this.
Yeah, he might be having problems now. So, it's still anybody's guess on how this is going to go. As it looks like the lights are out on the pace car.
Yeah,
Glazer was in for about 40 seconds of damage. Patty's been in for 1:03. A few other guys been in for over a minute. Yeah, it's Darlington. There's going to be a lot of duct tape and donuts on these things when we're done.
And right now, Tizio and Gladelich both in the top 10, Deweese in the top 10, all of them making some repairs, not having a clean race. Right now, there are 3 must-win drivers in the top 7. The pressure is on, and these drivers are rising to the occasion.
Yeah. And as the pace car makes the hard left-hand turn, Barney, don't worry. I'm going to hook you up with some Bengay when this is over. I know your elbow's killing you, pal. We're going to get a restart with only a few laps to go left in the stage. It's going to be Taylor and Smith on the front row. Green flag is back out. Taylor's going to try to check out on everybody and hope that the 78 runs buffer. And I think he might be able to.
Now, Kyle Diaz, the first driver out there who just pitted, but he went fuel only.
Oh.
That's Brzezowski in the wall. Deweese looking inside of Van Schaik. That is for fourth. Not quite going to get there.
I thought it was going to get close. CVS doing a great job here tonight. I almost said CVH, and then I almost had the Gravedigger theme playing in my head.
Oh, and Diaz and Brzezowski, they're 3 wide. No, they think better of it.
Yeah, I think better of it too. Coming up here with 2 to go in the stage. And Luis is going to be bleeding positions here shortly.
Brzezowski is the first driver that pitted and took tires. He is fast in the corner, but can't get around these slower guys in front of him. This is the lap coming to the stage.
And that's the problem is you got the tires, but you just don't have the same speed.
There he goes, Diaz!
Look out. We
Champion,
got a big one.
Myers. That's going to be the stage there. And that strategy to flip the stage by the 12 not going to play out the way he wanted.
That just backfired horribly.
See if we can
get
an eye on that one.
It started with Diaz. Diaz got jacked up coming off the corner right there. Him in the 14.
Ooh.
And then he got hit. And it just became an accordion. The 15 got in the back of the 12. And this track cleans itself, and everyone went to the inside.
Yeah, I just don't think Champion knew or thought that they were going to be 3 wide there. And even though they were only 3 wide by about a couple inches as Diaz was drifting back.
It was still enough. And that 12 strategy just became moot. And that's the problem here at Darlington. You can think you have a solid strategy, but then next thing you know, you're putting duct tape on the back end of your car wondering what happened.
So Michael Taylor wins the stage. He gets his 10 points. Deweese finishes 6th. Adam Ball finishes 8th. So those 2 drivers, they were about 8 points behind Taylor before. Now they're going to be probably 14 points. So it's Michael Taylor with a 14-point buffer above the cut line. Deweese and Ball, I believe, who are there. But then we also have Cody Neal out of the race. He's going to be somewhere around the cut line when this all plays off. Jonathan Duncan, a lap down. He's going to be somewhere close to that cut line when this all plays out. So if you're any of those drivers, I think if you're Ball or Deweese, at this point, you just have to win. You might be able to get in on points, but I don't think anyone's calculators can figure it out at this point. You just got to think of this as a must win.
Yeah, at this point, it's either checkers or wreckers. I mean, that's how you have to look at it.
Number of drivers.
I gotta catch my breath after that.
We've got Myers, Jacob Smith, Zach Lockett, Bentley Glazer, Jake Champion, Zachary King still on pit road. Extensive repairs for those drivers. As we've got 1 to green. It's Brzezowski out front. He is the driver that was able to flip the stage. As well as Adam Ball. They both took 4 tires under that last caution. Let's actually pull up the graphics so we can see this here. Brzezowski, Ball, McNeil, and Eldred all pitted and got tires. Eldred also made some repairs there, that caution just before the stage. Then Smith, Taylor, Colby, Van Schaik, Gladelich all pitting and getting 4 tires. Mike Grinnell, the first on 2 tires. Tizio getting 4 tires. And then a whole bunch of drivers getting some repairs. Kyle Diaz back there. He was involved in that crash, bringing out the end of the stage. Nothing but drama here tonight.
Yeah, apparently Diaz's damage wasn't all that bad, so he just decided to get the tires and just say, screw it. Maybe saving the long-term repair for later on. But as the pace car makes that left-hand turn yet again, it's going to be our 8th green flag of the night. I'm already halfway out of breath, and we still got 70-plus laps to go.
Yeah, and it's only going to get more exciting from here as Brzezowski leads them back to green. McNeil close in tow. Adam Ball down low, and then it's Michael Taylor, the first car on the freshest tires here, just pitting at the stage with Brian Smith and Cody Eldred. This 77 car is out to a comfortable lead now. Let's take a look at his night. all over the place, as low as 21st. That's where he started the race. Then drove all the way up into the top 10. Couple fuel-only stops, couple 4-tire stops, keeping it clean otherwise. Capitalizing there to flip the stage with that late stage caution. That's got him into the lead. The 48 just behind him, pretty similar trajectory. He started in 23rd, made his way up, a couple fuel stops, couple 4 tires, flipping the stage, working out for him. Adam Ball, again, same story. These guys have just been grinding all night after starting outside the top 15 and have used the strategy to put themselves in the top 3 here when it matters most.
Yeah, don't look now, though, but stage winner Taylor in the 08's coming, and he's bringing current championship leader in the 78, Smith, with him.
Yeah, Taylor having a great night. Consistently in the top 10. Just doing what he needs to do to stay there, getting stage points both stages, winning the second one, doing everything he needs to do to defend being that last car in, just above the cut line.
Yeah, they both get around Ball, so drop Ball to 5th. Oh, the 78 hard in the fence. And to think that we're getting ready to come up on 70 laps to go, and we've still got more chaos coming.
Deweese now into the top 10. He's trying to take 9th away from Cody Eldred, and he does it.
Yep.
And just behind that battle is the 12 of Myers. I don't think he picked up too much damage.
No, I don't think so either. He's trying to make this move stick on the 32. I think he's going to. 32's up in the fence, so trying to fight back. But the 12 will make it stick.
Now they're 3 wide behind him.
I wouldn't do that, boys.
Oh, and Eldred goes around.
There we go. And the 14's with him.
And there it is, 8th caution of the night. We saw that one coming.
I didn't think I'd have to ever bring this up here tonight, but let's not forget that there's a 24x penalty.
Ooh.
So if you get 24x's, you are looking at a penalty, and then every 9x afterwards. Some of these guys might be getting close to that.
I think this one's on the 14, Shane.
Yeah, I think so.
They're 3 wide, and the 55 kind of checks up to give him room, but the 14 can't hold his line. Either way,
he just drop kicks the 32, and they're both into the Darlington wall.
Yeah, there's going to be a long list of discussions after this one regarding possible penalties.
There might be a few appearances in the Icon Hall or post race.
As they come around under caution, couple drivers going to hit pit road. We're going to take our second commercial break of the night and be back for the final 70 laps here at Darlington in the Southern 300. Welcome back here on SRM with the Icon Cup Series. Pace car is off, and we are racing here again at Darlington in the Southern 300 with the Icon Cup Series. A number of drivers taking waiver rounds there. That's why we've got that long line on the inside. You didn't miss anything under caution, with one exception. That 12 car of Finnegan Myers picked up a black flag, we believe, for speeding on pit entry. He hasn't, it's showing that he hasn't served it yet, so still something to play out there for that 12. He might be lobbying for a judicial review. Nope, there it is. He hits pit road to serve the penalty.
Well, that's going to put him a lap down.
You know what else? It might have been what you were just talking about, Shane. That there is an incident limit at 24 incident points that gives you a drive-through, because I would have thought if you get a speeding for pit entry, usually you just get an EOL under caution.
Yeah, usually.
There goes the 78 under the 77 for the lead. That's Brian Smith in the 78. Not in his usual paint scheme here tonight. Oh, there's contact!
Banging on the 77. He used him up big time.
And McNeil gets into the wall, trying to stay out of the 77. That's going to let the 08 and the 23 get a run down low. Braxton DeWeese now in the battle. He's in 5th.
And if you look at the back of this pack, look at that red car right there. Diaz is in this as well. He's hungry. But you and I were talking about this before coming back to green. That 78 car won 15 out of 33 races last championship season, but wrecked out at Martinsville. This could be a revenge tour event for him, which means, honestly, I got to put it this way, teammates be damned in the final stage.
Yeah, we were kind of wondering how hard he'd race his teammate here for the win, knowing that Taylor is likely in on points, finishing in 2nd, but could assure himself into the next round of the playoffs with a win. And right now, a 78 saying just what you said, Shane. See you later. I'm going to go win this thing and make a statement.
And, we saw the 78 creeping up the standings, through the first stage, through the second stage. I said it earlier on, watch the third stage for that 78 car. It wouldn't surprise me to see him up front. And just like, where this paint job came from with Mark Martin, here he is leading at the tail end of a race, but here comes that 08 car looking on the inside as the 78 knocks the fence down. Chops the nose off of his teammate.
Yeah, it's getting spicy now. There are now 4 must-win drivers in the top 10. That's Michael Taylor. Well, actually, let's say Michael Taylor's probably in if he can finish 2nd, as he has continued to extend his buffer above the cut line with stage points here tonight. But Deweese, Ball, and Diaz are all must-win drivers at this point. Deweese, the best of them, running 5th right now.
Yeah, but the thing is, Deweese hasn't been 100% strong this race as he's trying to make a move on CVS, trying to get into 4th. He will actually do that. And he's going to try to bring Patty in that 30 with him.
And Ryan
but
Patty
CVS is going to fight back on the outside.
Ryan Patty been battling all night to make up for some contact early that put him a lap down. And there he is running 6th. Don't count him out of this race.
Man has been up and down the standings more than the NASDAQ 500 stock market.
We talked about it last week. Ryan Patty won the season opener at Daytona, but I don't believe he's been back to victory lane since. Nope, never mind. He won at Indianapolis, and I know so because I saw a picture in the Discord this week. Ryan made it to Indy, visited the track, and he got down and kissed the bricks, Shane.
You know what? That's badass. I like that. You win at Indy, it doesn't matter if it's virtual or real. If you get a chance to go to the Speedway and kiss them bricks, you kiss them bricks. I like that.
So Van Schaik around Brzezowski for 3rd.
Yeah, but Brzezowski's fighting back on the outside. He's not giving CVH any quarter right now, and he's going to bring Patty into the mix. Patty scrapes the fence. He's looking to try to go 3 wide.
He thought
Thinks
about it.
better of it.
Whew.
He thought about it.
Oh, 77 into the wall.
Yeah, that's going to check Patty up a little bit. Deweese kisses the fence.
Yeah, so we saw Brzezowski flip the stage. Just about a 4-lap difference on tires between him and most of the field, but Ryan Patty pitted 10 laps later, so he has a 15-lap advantage of tires on that 77, and you can see it.
It doesn't matter if it's 1 lap or 4 laps. Once you get the goods scraped off by this cheese grater of a racetrack, your tires are screwed.
There he goes around the outside.
Yeah, that 77's not going to make it easy, though. Patty's going to have to send it into 1 and 2 to try to get around him, and he almost does and finally clears him. 77 tries to slam the door on the 8.
Yeah, I think Deweese was hoping to go with him and couldn't make it happen. He's going to look low.
Yeah, Deweese is going to try to get to the bottom of the 77, but unfortunately he doesn't really find much room down there. So what he's going to have to do is try to check back up behind him and try to get a run going into 1 and 2, which is what he's doing. He's going to peek out right now, try to send it deep into 1 and 2. Nothing doing. So Deweese is going to have to try to re-rack it again and try to set him up.
And this looks really familiar, Shane. This looks just like in the previous stage when that 4 car had a little bit of damage and was holding up a line of cars. Now the 77 at a tire disadvantage, just not quite able to kind of hold pace with the drivers in front of him. We've got this whole pack brought together, all trying to find a way around each other and Brzezowski.
The 8 just about decided to go into the grandstands to get around him. That's the only way he was looking at it. So right now the 77 is in the lane everyone wants to be in, but when you're at a tire disadvantage and you're holding everybody up, again, just like what was going on with the 4, it's only going to be a matter of time before someone says, I'm getting sick of this, and moves you.
And Deweese following in the footsteps of Ryan Patty in front of him, going to make the move on the outside. Little bit of contact.
77.
There they go. Deweese, again, in a must-win situation to stay in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how he's 100% looking points-wise, but it is pretty much must-win at this point. I mean, I would say he would have to be comfortably in the top 3 to have a shot.
I mean, he's got to beat Michael Taylor by 15 positions by my math. So as long as Taylor is running second, it's a must-win.
Yeah.
Again, there are a number of other drivers right at that cut line or somewhere close to it. Cody Neal out of the race. He was only, I think, 19 positions or 20 position or 20 points ahead of the cut line coming in. Jonathan Duncan still in the race, back in 16th. He has recovered. At one point, he was a lap down in 20th. And there goes Adam Ball.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, that wheel is not pointing the right direction, Shane.
No, I think somebody's someone's steering wheel is about 90 degrees cocked to the left, and that's not good.
Let's go back and see what happened here to Adam Ball.
Watch the 48 in front of him. That's where I think this all went down, was with the 48 in front of him.
One of those must-win drivers just below the cut line coming in. And with
everything is fine up to this point. The 48 gets up on the 77. He has to lift a little bit. Gets a little squirrely coming off. They touch a little bit there, and that looked weird.
Yeah, I'm not sure why the 48 got loose and kind of lost some momentum there, and then
that
almost looked
should
like
not have happened.
Yeah, kind of bumping fenders where you wouldn't expect him to.
Yeah, but that shouldn't have caused that car to hit the fence. There had to be something else that happened.
Well, up front, it is still Brian Smith, now with a second lead over his teammate, Mike Taylor. Smith locked in.
50 laps left in this race, and there's still a lot that can happen.
Yeah, Brian Smith locked in to the next round of the playoffs with 2 wins this round. Mike Taylor came in just 2 points ahead of the cut line, won the second stage, picked up more stage points in stage 1. He is likely 15 points to the good ahead of Adam Ball and Braxton Deweese. We just saw Ball involved in that caution, or sorry, that non-caution. wreck. He's got a meatball flag with extensive repairs. He is out of this race, most likely, and out of the next round of the playoffs. So it's Braxton Deweese, now kind of the lone driver, chasing Mike Taylor. But with Taylor running second, he's got to win this thing to stay in it.
Not just that, but you got Diaz sitting in 8th right now. He's got a shot at this if, they can get the field re-racked. But I hate to say it, even through the next round of pit stops, I think that 78 is going to be the car to beat here tonight.
Everybody getting spaced out here in stage 3.
And Darlington is known for this. You get a long green flag run, you get to see eventually where your competition is because of how their car drives through the long haul. I mean, right now the 48 looks like he's going to be having problems, but you get to see what your car does, and you can be like, all right, well, now I know what position I need to be in towards the late stage of this race.
Taking a look at this fuel run, Brzezowski is has the least amount of fuel. He's been out there 39 laps, so he'll be in somewhere in the next 5 to 7 laps, and that will start these green flag pit stops, as we have just 46 to go. So Brzezowski and everybody else can make it on one more stop.
Yeah, it looks like Ryan Patty's kind of the best sitting duck right now. He was in 24 laps ago, so he's just over halfway down on a tank.
Now 48 tags the wall there as Zach Lockett goes around, another one of those must-win drivers. So now Deweese, Diaz, and Lockett all in the top 10, knowing they need to be in victory lane if they want to keep their playoff hopes alive.
Well, we've been saying people tagging a fence all night. I hate to see how many right rear fenders are going to need to be replaced when this race is over.
We've got a lot of people cheering for that 8 car in the live chat tonight. Chris Deweese cheering him on.
Guys. We appreciate all y'all coming in here tonight. 23 sets of eyeballs on this race tonight. We'll take that.
Again, everyone a little spaced out here. There is a battle shaping up here as Brzezowski has been caught by Patrick Colby.
Yeah, Colby needs to get around him quick, and so doesn't that 12 car. Well, the 12 decides to end up catching a fence, but still sticks it to the outside of Colby.
And that 12 is 2 laps down after serving that penalty. But he needs some cautions. He is in the lucky dog position. There's no one lap down.
He just about loosened that 28 car up.
And there, the 28 into the wall.
Yeah, it looked like somebody caught the fence pretty bad.
And there's another caution.
And this changes everything.
I don't know what it's for. It looks like Zachary King is slow.
Check the 47. Check the 47. I saw him parked.
Oh, it was actually Tizio and the 47 involved. Ooh.
And the 47 just came up track and sandwiched the 15.
Let's back that one up. There's something wrong with this 47 already.
Flat tire, perhaps? You can see he's trying to
back
turn
it up a little
thing
more and see what's going on here. So this is the lap before. The 47 getting caught by the leaders. 78 of Brian Smith. The last time the 47 was getting passed by the leaders, he put up a fight and caught the wrong end of it, spinning down the track.
Okay, so he gets around the 15. That's no big deal. He got Smith behind him. I think he's going to end up letting him go here. Yeah, he gets out of the way. But that puts him at an awkward angle going into the corner. He tries to turn left, and the thing just goes straight.
Yeah, that's... Oh, and the Taylor is involved in that. We didn't see that at first. 08 with damage.
The front end of that 08 is cooked.
And that changes
and then Diaz
everything.
Caught him.
Yeah,
Diaz caught the 15.
Now, hold on. There's more to this one.
So the 47 comes up. He can't make the corner. 15's in the fence. The 08 gets in the back end of 15. There's a little bit of damage to him. And watch Diaz come flying in right at the end here. right
Oh,
there.
no.
Ow.
Just trying to avoid the 47. Turns up into the 15. Both of those drivers, doing the right thing, just holding the brake, waiting for the fast cars to go by. Oh,
Diaz,
man. And
Diaz's night might be ruined.
And that is going to change everything, Shane, as now Mike Taylor, running second, is carrying some heavy damage to the front of his car. Sitting not bad in points, but Deweese and Patty both make it through that. And now,
if we get a chance, we got to see the front end of that 8 car. The 08. We got to get a look at that car.
Oof.
Oh, that is hurt. The splitter's jacked up. The nose is bent in half. That thing is hurt.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting.
But he stays out as it looks like they're getting ready to restart.
What I don't understand is why drivers didn't come to pit road there. You can make it from here. Just 39 laps to go. We've seen drivers make it that far, I believe.
They might be expecting another caution.
Up that pit strategy. Yeah, we've seen drivers go... saw Brian Smith go 54 at one point with all those cautions earlier in the race. But I would think 39 is easily achievable. You might be right. If they only have one set of tires left, they might be just assuming there is going to be more to come.
There's got to be some sort of strategy. I mean, either way you look at it, people have got to come down pit road probably within the next 10 laps.
Oh, that's the other thing, right? Maybe they did all pit while we were watching those replays. We'll have to double check on that.
Let me take a look real quick. I'll take a gander at the tower, see what we got.
It was either no one pitted or everyone pitted. I think it was that everyone pitted.
Let me take a look as we go back green. Yeah, lap 180. Everyone was on pit road.
All right, everyone on pit road. Everyone with 4 fresh tires. But Taylor with damage. He did not take any time to fix it. And Patty's in the wall. Gets into Brzezowski. They're going to be 2 and 3 wide. Now Deweese inside of Mike Taylor. 08 and 8. Taylor slaps the wall. Again, you can see the damage on the front of that 08 car.
Yeah, that thing has got to be running wounded right now. I mean, the front end of that car is not going to be happy. I mean, the splitter's jacked up. The grill is bent, 29 ways from Sunday. The nose is caved in. Here he is getting shoved by the 48.
Yeah, he's in the way right now.
But he's also doing what he has to do to stay out there to try to get the points. I mean, this is the thing. Do you come in, get your car fixed, or do you end up chancing it and hope for the best? Phone call.
Oh, man, so much going on. Again, Taylor fighting for his life to stay relevant and make it into the next round of the playoffs. He is slow with damage, and drivers are trying to get around him every which way. Ryan, Patty, and Brzezowski now on his bumper. Up front, Brian Smith is leading. Chuck Van Schaik in second. He doesn't need a win, but it would feel good for that 23 to be back in victory lane. Then right behind him, the 8 car of Braxton Deweese in the Janes on Main Mustang. He needs a win to continue his march into the playoffs this season. And he is holding serve here with Brian Smith and Van Schaik. Then behind him, John McNeil in the 48. He also doesn't need a win, but I'm sure he'd love to get one here at Darlington. He's looking good. Ryan Patty rebounding from an early incident. Oh, and rebounding off the wall.
He knocks the fence down again.
Again, his crew chief needs to get in his ear and tell him, hey, calm it down. You're in on points. You're safe as long as you don't have a disaster. I know he wants to win it.
He keeps slapping the fence like that. He's going to be the disaster.
Then behind him, it's Mike Taylor with a chance to win not so many laps ago. Heavy damage there as lap cars get into it, trying to let the leader around. He's got damage to the nose, and drivers are going by. Behind him, the Rocket, Zach Lockett, moves up to 6th. He is another must-win driver in the right place at the right time here at the end of the race. Then Jacob Smith now in 8th. He caught some heavy damage in a wreck earlier, went to the back. He is marching back to the front as well. Oh, and Taylor, bad night, getting worse. Again, I think as long as Taylor finishes on the lead lap, he is going to be safe on points without a win by Deweese or Lockett. So he's just got to pedal this thing home.
He's got to hope for a caution so he can get this car fixed, because he's not going to be driving it much longer in this condition. This thing is going to park him eventually.
Oh, and Lockett hits the wall.
The Rocket finds the wall.
And again, the pressure's on. 93, needs a win. I think he was unable to make both of the other races in this round. So putting all his chips in on Darlington.
Yeah, well, Batman over there in the 4 is about to make things a little bit more interesting for him.
I was about to say, it kind of looks like a Spirit Halloween from far away, and then I saw it's Batman up close. As Lockett goes inside of Ryan Patty.
And he just about takes the 4 with him. They're about 3 wide. Patty's in the fence.
This is phenomenal racing here in the Southern 300 at Darlington. We have just 29 laps to go.
Oh, don't go anywhere, folks. This is still getting spicy.
Oh.
Patty's in the fence again, then slams doors with the 4.
These two do not seem happy with each other.
And the 55 is looking on like, when are you two going to settle this?
Deweese still riding in 3rd, hanging in there with Van Schaik and Brian Smith. These 3 have not really gained or lost any time on each other here the last 10 laps.
No, I think CVS just caught a little bit of fence there, but it didn't seem to hurt him too much. Matter of fact, I think he's actually closing in a little bit on the 78.
Take a look at his night. Lost a lot of positions there in the first caution of the night. And came in, getting a little bit of repairs, a little bit of fuel. Many times. I can't even count how many times he's been on pit road here tonight, Shane. But moving his way back up into the top 5 and now on the top 3 right when it matters at the end of the race.
Yeah, right when it comes down to the money time, CVS is doing his thing, and take a look at Deweese going up and down like crazy. He's been battling all night long, and he's finally inside where he needs to be, but he's got 2 more positions to go and only 25 laps to do it in.
Yeah, as high as he's been all night in position. Just going to need to find some speed to catch that 78 car.
Yeah, well, good luck doing that, because that 78, outside of the first little bit of this race, the first stage or so, outside of that, the 78 has been right where he's needed to be to try to make this a clean sweep of this first stage of playoff racing. So it's just going to be a matter of if he's able to do anything. Take a look at this chart for the 48. He's been all over the place tonight.
Yeah, up in the front row, then back down to around 20th, rebounding now into the top 5, running 4th with Zach Lockett on his bumper. Lockett on pit road for a ton of repairs here in the second half of the race. Got himself in the top 5. We talked about Jacob Smith losing a number of positions, making a ton of repairs here late in the race, got himself back into 6th position, trying to get back in the top 5. Just a night of long, grinding battles for drivers here at Darlington.
Yeah, and Patty is currently underneath fire from Colby in that roll tide forward.
Yeah, we saw... Ooh, we was going to say...
Oh, Patty slams the fence.
We've seen Patty in the wall about 10 times this stint, and I think the damage is starting to catch up with him.
Now he keeps hitting that fence. A couple more licks, he's going to think he's Richard Petty.
Now back to 9th. Taylor kind of settling in to 10th place. Again, I think as long as he finishes on the lead lap and we don't get a winner from DeWeese or Lockett, he is safe on points, pending all the bonuses and proper math to be done after this one.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not Larry McReynolds. I don't have a good calculator with me right now.
And again, Taylor kind of holding this group up. Patty also with damage, kind of holding this group up. You got Cody Eldred there. Jake Gladelich in the 14. Myers in the 12. He's still one lap down in the lucky dog.
3 wide going into turn 3 and 4. That's not going to work.
And Brian Smith is on pit road. That's not right. Why does it say that? He's not on pit road. I don't know why the leaderboard says that.
Leaderboard decided to go screwy. I'm looking at the tower right now. He's not on pit road, obviously.
As Patty continues to drop, he's now back to 12th.
Someone get the monkey out of the pylon. They dropped the banana in there and screwing things up again.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that's about. But Jacob Smith has gotten around Zach Lockett. That's for 5th place. Lockett needing to win. That's not what he wants to see here with 20 to go.
Now, what he wants right now is a caution to get everything bunched back up again, because that car does not have the speed to get up to the front because everyone else is just driving away from him on these tires. He needs a caution to save himself right now.
Tight racing back here. This is for 10th position. The 14, the 08, and the 32 are all battling to be in the top 10. The 12 still a lap down. Just trying to stay up front, catch a lucky dog, and get back in this thing.
Yeah, well, right now, the way he's going, he's going to need something to get back up there, because I don't think there's going to be that caution unless someone really slips up here real soon.
The top 3 now spaced out. It's 8 tenths between Smith and Van Schaik. Another 7 tenths between the 23 and Braxton DeWeese.
Right now, DeWeese has got to be wondering what he's got to do, because he can see that Valvoline 78 just getting slightly smaller lap after lap, and he knows what he's got to do to get into the playoffs for the next round is win. But his goal is getting just that much smaller. He's doing the right thing right now by not pushing that car too hard, but there's going to come a point where his brain is going to shut down and say, you know what? You got to do what you got to do to make up time.
See him running a really high line here.
And then he just drives it down the corner. So he's diamonding it to where he can try to get the exit a little bit lower off the wall, so that way he's not knocking it down, which is actually very smart. But the thing is he hurting the tires doing it? As the fastest 5 for 5, CVS, Brian Smith, Mike Grenwall, Braxton DeWeese, and Patrick Colby, all with the top laps. Only 3 of them are inside your top 3. Everyone else is 7th and 8th. So, and the thing is, this is on used tires, and the last time we saw sub 30s was like 30, 40 laps into the race. So that just tells you how much grip this track still has.
Yeah, these drivers are giving it everything they have. 15 to go. And again, kind of this speed, the fastest car on track being traded back and forth between Brian Smith and Chuck Van Schaik. And now Braxton DeWeese, the 3rd fastest. So the top 3 are the 3 fastest cars on track. But Brian Smith continuing to pull away.
Yeah, right now with only about a 10th and a half separating the top 3 speed-wise, it's going to take a miracle for that 8 car to get up to the front.
We take a look at drivers who have led tonight. Myers led the most with 96 laps, but a penalty has got him 2 laps down. Now back up to 1 lap down. He's in 14th. Brian Smith has led 54, including the last 30 or so right here. And Patrick Colby led 18. Brzezowski led 13. Jonathan Duncan got some laps in. Mike Taylor as well. Then Cody Neal before he went out. Mike Grinnell picked up 3. they're staying out on one of the restarts and then using some pit strategy to stay up front.
Yeah, Mike pulling a little bit of a Dave Marcus on everybody, staying out underneath the caution, and then getting the pit stop done. And I just aged myself yet again. Where's the wingtip shoes when I need them?
Well, Jacob Smith had gotten around Zach Lockett a couple laps ago and started to pull away, and now Lockett chasing him down as we see the 4 in the wall, losing all his momentum. That's going to give...
He lost all the momentum, and that's going to give the Rocket a chance to get by him on the outside. As he hits the fence again, Lockett will get clear, move him up.
This battle not over, though.
Yeah, Batman says, I'm not done yet. I still got to chase the Joker down. Why am I dating myself so much tonight?
And the 4 car, one of those drivers that was almost completely safe, over 50 points ahead of the cut line. He had some issues tonight, but I think coming home with a top 10 is going to be fine enough for him. Lockett, on the other hand, he knows he's got to win.
Yeah, Lockett needed a win, and unless a caution hits here in the next 10 laps, I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, Lockett now 8 seconds out of the lead. Deweese in third. He's now 3 seconds out of the lead and starting to lose ground on Brian Smith.
I think Deweese might have been pushing the car a little too hard. He's been wiggling that thing coming off the corner last few laps, and that car has just not been happy. But now you got the leader catching lap traffic here. Could this be the opportunity for CVS to try to make a move?
And he has gained a little bit here in the last couple laps.
Yeah, I think the 15 held up Brian a little bit. Now you got Patty in the 30 dead ahead. Fastest 5 right now, Zachary King at a 29.52, Myers at a 72, Colby at a 76, and then as everything just switches again, now you got Jacob. Again, everything switches.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise, I can't keep up.
The takeaway was that Van Schaik is fast.
Yes, he is.
Again, okay, fastest 5 for 5. This one won't change as much. Chuck Van Schaik is the fastest car on track for the last 5 laps. And as I say it, Brian Smith takes that title away from him.
This is what happens when broadcasters actually try to give important stats. The drivers come in and say, shut up, let me show you something.
Now everybody turning it on here at the end. I think Smith might have been saving a little something because 2 laps ago, Van Schaik was 7/10 away from him, and now it's a 1.5 seconds.
Yeah, something tells me once he got around those lap cars, the 15 and the 30, it was done, and he's just pouring it on now. Again, we mentioned it earlier on. He won 15 of 33 races last championship season, only to wreck out at Martinsville. Now is the time for a revenge tour, and he's putting it together as both the 4 and the 55 bounce off the wall.
Yeah, Brian has 10 wins this season as well, so just a mountain of trophies piled up for that 78 car over the last 2 seasons. Regular season champion, and then looking to sweep the first round of the playoffs. Really making a statement.
The last time I heard somebody with teens when it came down to wins, gee, look at this paint job, 1998, except it was a rainbow 24.
Van Schaik.
CBS has fallen further back.
He's still losing ground, but he's still in the frame looking back. Nobody else can even see that 78 car.
Yeah, I hate to say it, though, but that's the picture is getting smaller. Before you know it, he will be out of frame. Three laps to go, and it is about eyeball test, what, a 1.5 seconds between these two still?
Yeah, 1.6 seconds separate the leader. Chuck Van Schaik in second. 23 was pretty good on points, and he's having a great finish here. He should be into the next round without worry. McNeil also doing the same, bringing home a 4th place finish. He sticks where he is right now. But it's Deweese and Lockett in 3rd and 5th. The heartbreak at the front of the field. They are not going to make these playoffs most likely. Again, we still have Cody Neal and Jonathan Duncan to kind of fall out in the points. Duncan is now up to 12th. I think he's going to be okay. But Neal
he should be
is going to finish 28th out of the race. And I think he was only 26 points ahead of the cut line. So if he got some stage points early, that might have bought him some breathing room. But otherwise, I think he's the one that should be really worried here.
He might be done, but this race was almost over as the white flag is in the air. Brian Smith is putting a statement down here tonight. If you want this championship, you got to go through me. Again, 15 out of 33 wins last year were his. As he's coming around turns 3 and 4, there's nothing but daylight between him and the start-finish line. Barney's got the checker flag in hand. How sweet it is at the Southern 3 for 300. Brian Smith gets it done.
Chuck Van Schaik is 2nd. Braxton Deweese, 3rd place. A great finish in the race. Not going to be enough to continue his playoff run, though. And that's your podium. Brian Smith, Van Schaik, and Deweese. Patrick Colby also having a great run that he needed to stay ahead in the points. The 55 coming home 7th. Gladelich and Eldred round out your top 10. Just a knockout battle and grind of a race here. 300 miles, 220 laps. We see Smith doing some celebrating.
Hey, he pulls a Greg Biffle. Why not? I mean, you're driving a Roush car. Why not pull a Greg Biffle and back into the fence when you're celebrating? He must be taking a Chad Knaus thought process. Crack up the back end.
Even got the red rims. I don't think Mark Martin had those.
Yeah, he did. 1998, he had the red rims.
Ooh.
98, 99, he ran red rims. I think even a little bit in 2000. That is a good-looking race car right there, man. I was a Gordon fan growing up, but this is one car you always picked out when you saw it on track.
Again,
he's just
what a grind! What a grind of a race!
As he's about to grind all the rubber off those rear tires.
Mike Taylor brings it home 11th. I think he's going to be okay. Stage points saved him. Again, he came into this race just 7 points ahead of Braxton Deweese. And he would have, if without the stage points, I think Braxton would have taken that last spot away from him. But he won stage 2, picked up, I think, 7 points in stage 1 as well.
Yeah, I think stage points, he'll be fine making it into the next round. But again, our calculators are already overheating, and I can't get a hold of Larry Mack to cover all the rest of the math, so I don't know.
Yeah, this will be one for Ryan and the team to kind of finish out all the calculations here after the race. We'll let you know in next week's broadcast exactly how that fell out. Again, I think it's Cody Neal and Braxton Deweese are going to be close. Everybody else, I think, staying where they were on which side of the cut line they started on. Again, this is how they came in. It was Bentley Glazer and Jonathan Duncan feeling pretty good ahead of the cut. Then Michael Taylor right on it. Adam Ball, Braxton Deweese. Just below, we saw Adam have an issue there late in the race. That took him out of contention. Braxton fighting for 3rd. But Diaz and Lockett, they needed to win. That was their only shot. Not quite getting it done here tonight. And as we have drivers starting to pile into the waiting room, we'll get some interviews here with our podium racers.
Mm-hmm.
Well, right now it looks like our winner, Brian Smith, is here. Braxton Deweese now joining. We'll talk to Braxton first. Here, Shade. Here is the driver of the 8 car, Braxton Deweese, to chat with you.
Hey, Braxton, it's the Shane and Shane show up in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you.
Man, you want to talk about a grind here tonight? You went through one in that 8 car. What? talk to us about how that race went from your driver's seat.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't the smoothest for just of my doing. We sped on pit road at one point. I believe it was in stage two. That definitely did not help as we needed all the points we could get, and I felt like if we could have not sped there, we could have taken tires at some point that we could have potentially gotten the points then to be able to cover us for the end. But I still had an extra set there at the end if there was going to be a caution. I was kind of hoping for that, but um, it's never fun when you have a fresh set of tires sitting in the pits when you definitely could have used them and potentially got something out of it. But just little mistakes definitely don't help you get points and whatnot. So just got to clean it up in general myself. Just little stupid stuff like that. Went to the back with the contact with Ryan. That didn't help either. But either way, we still got up to sixth, I believe, in the stage one. Is that when that happened? So I mean, we still rebounded. Just needed to be up more, keep the track position. Just try to put ourselves in a good spot for any strategy there. But it is what it is. We'll take this P3.
Yeah, definitely. And according to math, and again, we're still waiting for all the bonus points and everything else to come out. There's a good possibility you've actually advanced into the next round. So, do you have any thoughts going into Kansas, possibly still contending for the championship?
Yeah, if we make it, then yeah, it's obviously we still have a shot, but we just gotta be on it, be on it, be on it. If we don't make it, I'm not too sure if I'll be here next week. I know I'll have another opportunity to run for points and something else for a championship, but I don't know. I haven't really decided what I'm gonna do. It just depends on if I make it or not. So, I kind of thought I was out of it, and you saying that kind of makes me just rethink what I want to do. So, we'll see. But you know, we've had some good times this year, but we honestly had a lot more struggles. So, um, just still trying to get used to this next gen. To be honest with you, it's a little different than honestly everything else. But um, when you get a nice setup, it can be fun. This tonight was a little bit tight. If it was a little bit more of a looser car, I think everybody would have been a little bit better off potentially. But it is what it is. You just gotta run with what you're dealt and try to make the best of it.
Yeah, definitely. And the way they've been updating these next gen cars continuously, it seems like dirty air and the handling characteristics keep changing almost every update. So definitely, it seems like it's gotten a lot more tighter as the year has gone on, for sure.
Yeah, most definitely. As they keep doing the updates, as you said, it just keeps getting more realistic, and unfortunately, more realistic it means it's going to be worse. So we all know how the next gen is, and y'all can probably tell what my opinion of it is, and just a lot of us are probably fed up with it. I know I am. I really just don't even want to watch the Cup Series in person because it's just, for example, I didn't watch the race, but I heard about it and watched and seen the little highlight at the end. Reddick was flying through there and couldn't do anything, so it's just a little unfortunate. So, it's definitely a big difference from the Gen 6, and that had some aero problems. So, hopefully it can get better. Just that's all we can do is hope.
Definitely. Well, before we let you get out of here to celebrate this P3 finish, who do you got to tip your hat to say thank you to help get it done on that 8 car here tonight?
Yeah, big shout out to James on Main. We've had him on the car almost every race. I'm not too sure. I can't remember about the throwback race if I had him on the car or not, but either way, we've almost had them on every race, if not every race. So, shout out to them, as well as Interstate Ford, Happy Hippie Karaoke, Three Ups Ice Cream Shop, Allen's Arts Images, Dewey's Renovations, Elevated TV, Short Track Report, Evan Pineda Designs, Paid Leave, Wooden Nickel Band, Stake Time, and everybody that tunes in and supports. I ended up making my first start at Winchester Speedway this past weekend. It was yesterday in a Thunder Roadster. I'd never raced in anything other than a go kart at full throttle or down in Mooresville, North Carolina, and I've test drove a hydroplane for 10 laps, and then I hopped in this Thunder Roadster after taking a couple test sessions at my local track. Went to Winchester for my first ever race, which is pretty ballsy considering it's 37 degrees of banking and them cars go full throttle around there, but you got to start somewhere, and it's pretty fun. So I'll be making a video about that. Y'all can check that out on YouTube, Braxton D Racing at some point. I have some other videos on there as well, but gonna be doing that couple more times this year. So hopefully we can do something with it.
Well, you bring up Winchester. We actually talked about that earlier on. You know, someone brought it up in the YouTube chat, so we got you covered there too. So there you go.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Hey, congratulations on the P3 finish, man. Enjoy this one, and hopefully everything goes well. We'll see you next week at Kansas.
I appreciate it. Y'all have a good one. Shane and Shane. As I'm looking at the names, that's funny.
Hey, that was Braxton DeWeese. Next up, driver of the 23, Chuck Van Schaik. Chuck, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy.
How about that? I mean, what a grind of a race. We saw you start in the top 10 and then drop all the way to 29th before driving all the way back up to second, right when it mattered most. Tell us about your race.
Yeah, usually hate it here. And I got into the practice session late and I heard a lot of people complaining it was too tight. So, once I had the opportunity to pit, I'd go to the back. I mean, I think I was 29, 28 points to the cut line. So a couple people got into incidents already. So I was like, you know what? I'll just ride around. I'm not going to win. I think I had 3 sets of tires left. 2 sets of I forget how many. I mean, I didn't take tires except for the stages. So I was able to do most of that coming back up through the field on older tires. Just rolling the outside in 3 and 4. I'm usually better in 1 and 2, but this time it was opposite. 3 and 4 is usually my kryptonite, and tonight it actually I was gaining some time on some guys and able to pass coming out of 3 or out of 4 and staying high in 4. So felt good, and at the end I was there, and just the couple lap cars we did pass. I caught him at the wrong time. He caught him going into the turns. I caught him at the turns, so lost some time there, and he kind of baited me a little bit. I mean, he was whacking the wall, at least on my screen, pretty good coming out of 2 and 4. So I'm like, all right, I'm just going to sit back a little bit and let him keep doing that. And somehow he kept hitting the wall. I get not wall riding, but coming out of 2 and 4 and getting faster. So I just said, you know what, I'll just take P2 and go to the next round of the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, I think just about everyone in the field was slapping the wall. Some drivers slapping it every lap. Some drivers waiting a few in between. But yeah, you mentioned that you only took tires 3 times. That's what I see on my screen too. So how do you, but you pitted maybe 10 or 12 times. So how do you decide to take tires or not here in a race? This is one of our longer races of the season.
Honestly, the first stage, if it didn't have a caution, towards the end, I could have made it on gas. It's weird. Some of the tracks I can clutch and pass people. This is one of them because there's a lot of off throttle time. So, I mean, I was just coming down every time because, once the tire strategies got, mixed up, I just didn't want to be wrecked, because I just didn't want to get wrecked. So I just kept going to the back and staying back there, but then just able, like I said, just taking it easy and just blowing by people just by taking it easy. So just like I said, just pitting to get out of the way, really. I was just trying not to be a casualty, and it actually worked out.
Yes, sir. I mean, I know earlier in the season you kind of took a personal issue with a comment a driver made about you being a fuel mileage driver. I think you're shutting that down here tonight at one of the most technical tracks on the schedule, coming home P2. So congratulations on that. Anybody else you got to thank for tonight's performance?
Yeah, I forget who the heck that guy was, but the back marker. I think I've had nothing but top 10s. That's where I'm usually at. I got to figure out how to get past the Brian and figure out how fast he can run. But to the admins, to you guys for a great broadcast. To my teammates, Jonathan Duncan, Patrick Colby, just, kind of got thrown together during the year, and we work well together. And to my company, Goat Racing Diecast, which is on the car, goatracingdiecast.com. Got new pre-owned or new previously owned collections, pre-orders, customs, apparel, sponsorships, you name it. I got about 9 drivers under my company. One of them being Zach Lockett, and then a bunch of other guys from my other leagues that I sponsor and I run with. So, yeah, all in all, and to the drivers, I mean, for the most part, it was clean. typical Darlington or technical tracks. You got people arguing. I don't really queue up much, but I queued up and just yelled "shut up" because I was getting tired of the bickering. So, but yeah, other than that, most of the drivers were clean. You know, when we were in bad situations, people were backing out, and at least with me, and I was backing out and giving them space. So it was fun. I didn't expect to have fun, but it was definitely fun.
We had fun watching you. Congratulations on the P2 finish, and we'll see you next week.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, guys.
All right, last up but not least, driver of the 78, points leader, playoff round one sweeper, Brian Smith, here for you, Shane.
Hey, Brian, it's the Shane and Shane show up in the booth. You got a copy?
What's up, guys? I got you.
So you just pulled your best Joey Logano 2015 impersonation and swept the first round. We didn't see much of you early on in this race, but then just like Mark Martin, you slowly climbed your way up through the field. How was this race unfolding for you compared to what everyone else was dealing with?
Yeah, you know, the first two stages were just not much fun. We were right on fuel on that last lap of that first stage. I think I had 0.8 of a gallon or 0.8 of a lap to go before I ran out. So made it to my pit stall with 1/10 of a lap remaining. So that was not fun. And then it was the same story with the second stage, just the way those cautions fell, and figured, you know, we'd get a couple more, but we didn't. So I was riding around in the 12's dirty air, trying to save fuel and just not having a lot of fun. But thankfully we got some green flag race and some clean track in front of us. And we were really able to flex our muscles out here in the 78 machine.
Oh, flex them you did, dude. I mean, this is a complete round one sweep. We talked about it earlier in the show. 15 wins for you last season. This had to be a revenge tour in a way for you, because wrecking out at Martinsville late in the championship run had to leave a bad taste. I think you're starting to get that taste out of your mouth from this first round for sure.
Yeah, I'd certainly like to top my win total from last season. That was a goal of mine I had going into this. But yeah, the final round last year, those 3 tracks just did not play into my hands. I know Nathan Finnegan, who wasn't here tonight, is really good at Martinsville, so that's going to be another tough one to overcome. But yeah, we'll see if we can get it done this year. We're certainly building the points cushion to get to that final round, and I don't know. I guess I just got to figure out what to do at Martinsville, because he certainly got me beat there. We'll just have to see.
Now, with that coming up later on, the next round kicks off at Kansas. You got any thoughts going into that as the points leader and a man who's probably going to end up having a bounty on his head by the time this week is over?
Yeah, well, bad news for the field. I'd say Kansas is my favorite 1.5 miles, so, or at least one of the top 2. It's such a great track. I love running the fence, just like here at Darlington, and you certainly get a lot of that there. So really looking forward to that. I think we go to Gateway next week. Is that right? I think so. But that'll be an interesting one.
I think it was Kansas and then Gateway from what I was looking at, but I could be wrong. But
either way,
right. But before we let you get out of here, who helps you get it done on that 78, especially this Mark Martin 98 throwback that you got to, tip your hat to and say thanks?
Yeah, the Mark Martin Valvoline scheme, that was a good call tonight, throwing it back to the 90s here at the Southern 500, so that's always fun. The car looked good, but fun racing with my teammates up front. Jacob and Mike were both super fast. Cody obviously ran out of talent off turn 4 there early on, but yeah, just a great night for those guys. It sucks what happened to Mike. Looks like he got caught up in some lap traffic wreck or something, but yeah, he was super fast tonight, and he definitely would have been contending for the win had that not happened. But looked like Jacob ran into some trouble too. Looked like he had some damage. So yeah, those guys did a great job tonight. You guys do a great job in the booth, and everyone out on track for the most part did a great job tonight. So it was a lot of fun, and can't wait for next week.
Well, celebrate this win, man. We will see you next week for sure.
Later, guys. Have a good one.
All right, and I am just double checking that schedule there.
I'm pretty sure it was Kansas from what I was looking at.
I believe they've made a change. The graphic says Kansas, but the Sim Race Hub says Gateway.
Well, we'll wait and see what happens next week then, huh?
Oh, you know what it is? It's the on the graphic, you got to go to the right instead of going down. I made the same mistake you did. There it is. Round of 16 and then round of 12 is Gateway, Bristol, and New Hampshire. Round of 8 will start with Kansas.
I'm used to up and down, not going right.
It got me too. But yeah, so Gateway going to be the race next week.
Ooh.
That should be a fun one.
Gateway, then Bristol, then Texas.
New Hampshire.
New Hampshire. Oh, that makes it even worse.
Yeah, gonna be.
You're getting the flat tracks, and then you're getting the short track and the flat tracks out of the way. Oh God.
So the drama continues. Like I said, we are going to have to wait for Ryan Patty and the other admins here at Icon to finish calculating all the bonus points and where everyone exactly finished. We'll update you on who made the playoffs and who didn't next week. But as for now, let's go ahead and take a look at our final results here from the race. It was Brian Smith, Chuck Van Schaik, and Braxton DeWeese, your top 3. Then John McNeil, Zach Lockett, Jacob Smith, Mike Grinnell, Patrick Colby, Jacob Gladelich, and Cody Eldred, your top 10. Then Mike Taylor, Jonathan Duncan, Ryan Patty, Finnegan Myers, Anthony Tizio, Zachary King, Nathan Brzezowski, Kyle Diaz in 18th. And Adam Ball, Bentley Glazer, Jake Champion, Charlie Widener, Brad Delph, Chris Camburn, Kyle Gilbert, Kyle Purcell, Robert Bloon, Cody Neal in 28th. Then Hollinsworth, Broom Ray. We're going to have to touch base with Paul there and make sure we're getting his name right. That is a new name for us. Then Ethan Van Colley, Jeff Dillon, and Sean Purcell finish out the field here tonight. A number of stories of drivers trying to make their way into the playoffs and some exciting racing all night long. Any closing thoughts there, Shane?
I'm exhausted from 220 laps here, but you know what? We had some amazing battles. The point situation, we'll have to update everybody as we go into Gateway next week. I'm excited to see how this is all going to play out. Brian's going to have the target on his back because he went 3 for 3. He's already said it. He's trophy hunting here. So I would not be surprised to see him really try to lay it down for Gateway and say, you know what, you really got to come through me the final part of this season. But that's next week. This week, I'm exhausted. This was intense. I'm here for it. This is true Darlington at its finest. So I don't know about you, but I'm ready to get out of here and get some sleep.
Yeah, we had a blast watching this. We want to thank everybody for joining us over on YouTube and joining us in the chat as always. Here for SRM, this was the Southern 300 at Darlington with the Icon Cup Series. We'll see you next week.